achieving their goals. Our students learn from each other and are challenged to grow and develop their innate talents. Notre Dame is faith-based, but everyone is welcome. If you have higher expectations for your child, Notre Dame offers a higher level experience. If you're ready to launch your child's future into the most successful career path and build the next generation of leaders, call today for a tour or visit NotreDameUtica.org. Notre Dame schools ready to learn, destined to lead.
You have cancer. 3 words you wish you could unhear. But just because a cancer diagnosis may be a shock to your system doesn't mean cancer surgery has to be. Now, there's Edge Radiosurgery. It breaks down tumors in less than an hour per treatment. No knife, no hospital stay. Faster treatments, lower risk. Edge Radiosurgery, now at AMP of New York. Learn more at ampofny.com/edge. You may experience side effects which may be severe. Ask your doctor of Edge Radiosurgery and Associated Medical Professionals of New York is right for you.
It's time to start the program. It's time to earn our pay. It's time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Well, here comes the cold. We'll be dealing with some colder weather as the days go on. Comets are home tonight at the Adirondack Bank Center. I have to talk about this morning. There's a bunch in the news we'll get to. I have some popcorn. A unique popcorn that we had, or my wife had. I had 3 kernels. Not on my diet. We'll get an update for the future use of St. E's and St. E's and St. Luke's with Bob Schofield of MVHS, our free money question of the day. Colgate's men's basketball coach is on today. We have some sad news we'll get to coming up in just a little bit. A proposal in Florida to eliminate gun permits. So this is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that while New York is going in one direction, Florida is going in another, as DeSantis sets up his run for nomination as the Republican. I mean, that's his. I think he's making a lot of moves right now, thinking about 2024.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I don't know at this time. Did that come from the governor, or is there a lawmaker down there who's maybe pushing this? I'm not exactly sure. It'd be interesting to see. But so does that mean anyone can carry?
I don't know what it means, and we'll speak with Evan Brown a little later on this morning. Very interesting to get into. Don't know what they're doing. Interesting. And then we had heard from Mark Butler the other day who said, "Listen, as the mayor of Newport, I really don't care about complete streets in Utica. I've heard enough about complete streets." Which really prompted me to say, let's dig in deeper. Mark. So I got to say that yesterday I took my my little CX-9 down to Genesee Street.
Okay.
And decided, I've driven through there, but I've never really paid any attention.
Okay.
So yesterday I drove my Mazda down to Genesee Street over near the Stanley Theater. And I wanted to get a feel for complete streets. And you're never going to guess what happened to me. It's unbelievable.
Did you get rear-ended?
Here's Here's exactly what happened. Hold on. This should be, it's not working. I had such a great setup. Hold on. I had such a great setup. And it didn't work. Here's exactly what happened to me yesterday. Davey, please. We're doing a show here. Here's exactly what happened yesterday. I blew my setup. Here's what happened.
While driving in my CX-9 by the Stanley on Genesee,
Beep, beep.
a guy in the bike lane with a shopping cart pushing scrap metal right by me. The guy looked rough, but he was moving fast as he kept on tooting his horn. A Chicago market shopping cart dated 1984. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. I pushed my foot down to the floor. Johnny Rocket in my wake. The complete street reduced to a single lane, and now I was forced to brake. He pushed that yellow cart past me as he kept up his horn play. I'll show him this complete street mess gives me the right of way. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. My car went into passing gear like Ricky Z said it would. Now this race is just not fair, his downfall understood. But when I peeked in the rearview mirror, I could not believe my eyes. The grocery cart was right behind, I'm gasping with surprise. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. Now we're doing about 55, I made a second lane. The shopping cart going right past me is messing with my brain. This guy must have been about 75, sucking on a bottle of gin. I'll show him that these complete streets are not for guys like him. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. Now we're doing about 95, his car began to smoke. He still pulled right up next to me as if we're going slow. I rolled on the window and he yelled at me just so I could hear. Hey Keeler, I'm just wondering, can you spare a beer? Can you spare a beer?
There you go. That's what happened to me.
Oh, that was, and I bit hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah,
I thought you had
yeah.
audio from a dispute that you got into with
Well,
somebody.
yeah, it was a dispute. It was terrible. The guy in that yellow Chicago markets
That is
grocery
funny.
cart, it was terrible. And you know, the grocery cart talked. Do you remember that? You remember the commercials for Chicago Market?
Yep.
The grocery cart talked.
Yep.
Yeah, yelling at me all the way down Genesee. It was terrible. Yeah. That was
funny.
my day yesterday. We'll also talk about the latest on George Santos this morning.
Yeah,
So this is the first crack. This is the first crack in his.
I'll tell you what. If I was advising him, I would say, stop lying, stop being a liar. It's not a good
Yeah.
thing. But I wouldn't be backing down here. Is he going to go away peacefully and quietly? If he wants to go away peacefully and quietly, he should recuse himself and not be involved in the government.
Yeah, just to now you're backing down from committees. Does that mean that you can't serve?
Right.
Yeah.
So if the argument is, I want to stay or whatever, my community elected me, then you got to do the job. I am surprised he did get committee assignments, though. I didn't think that was the greatest move by Republicans. I thought they should have shunned him. But since they gave it to him, now he needs to do it.
Right. The fact that they've given it to him, which was a bold move, I think, and basically committing to the voters, saying, listen, despite everything, this is who the voters elected. So therefore, and then to now begin to back down. Is it to the point though that he's getting pressure? If that's the case, just step down.
Right.
I think this is very, very odd.
Leave
Yes,
the office altogether, and then you can they can put somebody in there to do the job.
Davey, or you're just stretching.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. It's no problem. You know what you could do, though, Davey? If you could throw some salt on that walkway out there.
Yeah, I'll go do it right now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in a few minutes, we're going to speak with Greeley Ford. Some sad news in the music world.
Yeah.
Vinny Esposito has passed away, and I will we'll discuss that coming up in a few minutes as well. But very, very sad. This might be Greeley right now. Greeley Ford, good morning.
Hey, what's going on?
Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Good morning.
Good,
So
man. How you
very this was very sad news here today.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
So if you could talk a little bit about Vinny Esposito.
Well, Vinny is one of those guys from our area that's like Carmen Carmonica, just a living institution, right?
Yeah.
And I only mentioned Carmen because we just lost him as well.
I know. Yeah.
But, Vinny played back in the legendary band Holiday. He played in Target forever. He's been with Dean Blask and DVD for many, many years. And he's an institution in this area. We always thought, how can that voice come out of such a small-statured man like him?
Yeah.
Just he had that blue-eyed soul that like Danny Brisson, who was also gone from us. He had that type of voice, that type of presence and sound. It's just like nothing else, and it's such a loss that he's gone.
Yeah, what an amazing talent. And you remember those days of even those days of Target. Boy, that was a band that was the premier wedding band, the go-to band in the area. Back in the, what would you say, the early 90s anyway. Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, they were great. I mean, for a band to be just essentially a three-piece instrumental band, right? Brian on bass. You had Maurice Petrello on drums, who played in Classified also. And you had, back in those days anyway, and then you had Vinny on keyboards and vocals, and how they produced so much sound with just three instruments and three great vocalists up front. It was, they really blazed some tremendous trails back in their days.
Yeah.
So actually, when they left, Bill, it was kind of funny. When they moved to Hilton Head, South Carolina, it opened up the market for a wedding band like Classified.
You're right.
So we were sorry to see them go, but at the same time, we said, have fun.
Yeah.
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 So, but anyway, and then Vinny later on actually joined and played with Classified for a while. So we used to just sit back and listen to him sing, and we would pinch ourselves. We could not believe that he was in our band.
Yeah.
He was just so great. Yeah. So.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, we were chatting this morning, Greeley, about the fact that this is happening to our generation now.
Yeah, we have become our parents' generation. Isn't it funny, Bill? Because we don't feel old.
Correct.
But, here we are.
Yeah.
Life is moving on, and we have slid into that slot these days.
Yeah.
So it's just sad to see legends go, personal, local ones like these guys, because they set the stage for the rest of us, for everybody else who's here right now.
Yep. There's no doubt about it. Greeley, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. You guys have a great day up there in the Great White North.
And you in your shorts with temperatures, although you may dip down a little this week. Some cold weather is making its way a little bit towards the south, but you'll be fine.
I got to tell you, Bill, it is funny seeing people walk around in earmuffs when it's in the 50s.
Yeah, think about it.
Are you kidding me?
It makes you angry. Yeah. We'll be below zero this weekend, so.
My brother-in-law and I were in shorts the other day in the elevator, and it was like in the 40s, and a lady came in. She goes, "Oh, you guys must be from New York."
That is so funny, and it is so true. When we would go to Myrtle Beach, there was a while we were going down there during spring break, the spring break, not the winter break. And you never know what you're going to get in Myrtle Beach during the time of April, spring break.
Right.
And
It can go either way,
yeah, I mean, 57 degrees, sunny and windy at the beach. But you know what? We didn't come here to sit in the hotel room. There we are on the beach.
with your binoculars and your black knee socks.
Yep,
and, all
that's
that kind of
absolutely right. Very, very white, and they all knew where we were from. So. I mean, I was very, very white, so very white. Greeley, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and again, so sad to hear the news about Vinny.
We all are. Special shout out and prayers and condolences, thoughts and prayers, all that to his family.
Yeah. Okay, Greeley, thank you so much. All right.
Later, guys. Bye-bye.
Greeley
Take
Ford.
care, man.
We'll break at 6:34 at WIBX.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, here's my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed-rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 7.99% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 7.99% APR to 23.99% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Josh, quote, "After walking around my whole life being a mouth breather, I was excited to try Navage. I read the directions carefully, pressed the button, and oh my gosh, what a sensation. So much mucus, so much crud, but oh sweet, merciful air, I can finally breathe you through my nose. Never have I ever taken such an amazing breath in my life. This is a life changer," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Did you know 1 in 4 vet visits involve skin and coat issues? And 70% of your pet's immune system is based in their gut? Dinovite nutritional supplement has key nutrients for your pet's digestive tract, skin and coat, and immune system for an all-around healthier pet. Get a free probiotics booster with your purchase of Dinovite for dogs by using code DOG at dinovite.com.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dinovite.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Well, a chilly start to the day, but it's nothing compared to what we're going to get as the week goes on and we head into the weekend. Going to get cold. Tonight, the Comets. We have some Comets tickets to give away. Today, we'll do that. We have some Pioneers tickets for this weekend to give away. And, I was mentioning popcorn. Every year, Paul and Samantha come in to our Christmas show.
Whose birthday was yesterday?
It was. Did we say happy birthday to Samantha?
No, we forgot. I told Jeff, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'll do it," and he never got to
you
it. So.
piece of garbage, Jeff.
Shiny things. I'm sorry, Samantha. Happy belated birthday.
How's that bus feel, Jeff?
Well, look, I say this all the time.
You don't take this responsibility.
Yeah, throw it at me. No, that's fair, because he did come in and say
He
that.
did.
And I always tell people, you have to remember one thing. I will always forget.
Samantha is, she brings in Mellow Cups, and it's Christmas time for us, and Snickers and
there's
all
also
sorts of treats.
What's the cup that's got the butterscotch in it?
Those
are good, too.
I forget what that's called, but it's from the same brand as that makes the Mellow Cup. And anyway, this year they added on to the amazing package of deliciousness this, and I had never seen this before, Amish country popcorn. And if you look somewhere, it says what it is. It's family owned by the Amish people. This is ladyfinger type.
Okay, what's that?
So
mean?
they're small little kernels of. Have you tried popping this yet?
Mm-mm.
I gotta tell you, it's very, very good. I couldn't believe it. It's a completely different texture and experience.
Really?
Instead of the big puffy popcorn, these are smaller kernels, and it's almost like little baby popcorn.
Okay,
if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It was quite an interesting surprise. My wife said last night, she said, I feel like I should get a spoon. That's
that's how small they were.
Well, they're small. Yeah. Really good. Very interesting. So Samantha, happy birthday. Paul and Samantha, thank you for all of that.
So does it make a lot of it?
Why do you want it back? You just gave it to me. Now you want it back, don't you? Now you want to take it home and try it, don't you?
I was just asking.
You know what you want. Just ask for it. Yeah, come in here and get it. Take it home and pop it. You can pop it in the microwave, too.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. My wife has one of those things that you can pop kernels in the microwave. So regular popcorn.
And those other cups are called smoothie cups.
Smoothie cups. You're absolutely right.
Delicious. Thank you. And again, happy belated birthday.
Samantha, happy birthday. What else do we want to get to? We mentioned that the Santos issue. We'll get to that with Ryan Schmelz coming up in a few minutes. Did you see that Leon Etienne is performing at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino this weekend?
Oh, it's this weekend.
It is this weekend. We'll
Wow.
speak with we'll speak with Leon coming up in a few minutes about that show. There's a new Netflix documentary about Pamela Anderson. So there was the Pam and Tommy, I think, is that what was out during
I
the
think
fall?
Was Pam and Tommy like a series?
Yeah, well, yes.
It wasn't a documentary. Okay, yeah.
Correct. There were actors.
Yeah.
And it was a series. But I don't believe that was necessarily endorsed by Pamela Anderson.
Okay.
Apparently, the new documentary, it's her new memoir, Love, Pamela, says that her doing the Borat movie upset her husband, Kid Rock, so much that he called her a whore.
Ooh.
And instantly ended the marriage. So she did the movie, and he broke up with her, Kid Rock.
It must not have been a memorable scene.
But in her new Netflix documentary, Pamela, A Love Story, she's already quickly out of old journals and catches herself talking about waking up at Mario Van Peebles' house, then leaving for Scott Baio's house. So that's kind of an interesting thing. I'm not sure I'm going to watch this thing. But the very interesting, the fact that this is coming out so close to the other one, that makes me kind of think the other one may not have been the real deal, at least something that she endorsed. What a sad thing, though, that she almost looks like a cartoon character. Had she just stayed normal and not done all of the plastic surgery and all of the changes, she was beautiful. Why is it that oftentimes women can be so beautiful? And they are, and yet they look in the mirror and they don't see that.
Yeah, I wonder that. I mean, look.
I look in the mirror, I'm 6 feet tall. I don't know about anybody else.
Aging's part of life, right? We all have to deal with it.
But this wasn't even aging. She was young when she did all this. Today, I get it, I guess. JB,
Somebody, just a quick follow-up on that. Somebody mentioned to me, and she's younger. She's got friends in her 20s. She said, oh, some of my friends do Botox. I said, what? Oh, yeah. And they're like 26. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't know why you would go
kidding
down
me?
that road. Yeah, and that can have you can have a bad reaction to that, and it could be severe, even fatal in rare cases.
I mean, at 26, I'd love to see a before and after. How much
Yeah,
enhancement?
what are you doing?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I just
Other than the fact that your eyebrows look weird, and your smile seems like permanent. You look like the Joker in some cases. But imagine what you're going to look like after all that you do to yourself. What you're going to look like when you're 60. By the way, the Netflix series, or the documentary, I guess it is, began streaming yesterday on Netflix. And one more, JV girls basketball coach in Virginia is being accused of impersonating a 13-year-old to play on the team. What the hell is wrong with these people? 22-year-old Arlisha Boykins is said to have taken the place of a student athlete that was out of town for a tournament. See, I get it. You're 22, and you're thinking, like a kid. You haven't made that transition to the point that at 22 you're an adult.
Yeah.
So they're thinking, I'm a kid, I could do it. And at what point do you think that's fair to any other team that you're playing? Here's the father of the player that the coach was impersonating, speaking out against the school. Here we go.
To the kids about integrity and those type of things. So I was just shocked. I just need, an apology, because I haven't yet received one from, the overseer of the program or nothing. He just came out and just told us the stipulations of what was going to happen, but there was no apology.
I don't understand this story at all. The father of the girl who was replaced, he was away. The JV coach came in and impersonated his daughter. And who wants the apology? He wants the apology. This just seems like a very crazy story.
Yeah, it is very bizarre. And so was it a teacher, a gym teacher, been arrested?
It was
a coach.
Under investigation into impersonating a 13-year-old, a 22-year-old JV basketball coach. So
yeah, I don't know
I don't know how far you're going to go. If that's arrestable, I know if you went to school and impersonated a kid, you could be arrested. I don't know why you couldn't for doing this.
I guess so.
On a JV basketball team. Ryan Schmel is the latest on George Santos. Speaking of deceiving, George Santos now trying to say that he is saying that he's no longer going to, for at least now, serve on these committees.
Here's my theory. Just like his other lies, I think what he's saying is he's recusing himself from the committees. He's stepping down. But I think he's still going to be on the committees. It's just his latest lie.
I just don't know what to believe with this guy. Ryan Schmelz, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. I would like to say that I am one of those people who wears high-heeled dress shoes and cowboy boots in order to get above that 6-foot threshold. So I will happily admit that.
Well, listen, and as I sit here with my shoes that might make me 1.5 inches taller as well, it doesn't get me to 6 feet, but I understand that. I understand. We do what we do, Ryan. We do what we have to do. Yeah. Okay. Right. What do you think of this wackadoo here?
Right. So kind of take you back here a little bit. So Fox News sources confirmed Santos said in a Republican conference meeting Tuesday that he would recuse himself from his assignments on the Small Business Committee as well as the Science Committees. And that was later confirmed at a press conference from House Republican leadership. And then I believe ultimately Santos announced that move as well as he kind of sorts out the different issues going on. That includes multiple investigations by prosecutors over personal finance and campaign finance laws and potential lies on his resume and family background.
Are these the only committees that he is on?
Those were the only committees he was set to be assigned to. That's correct.
Okay. So why? I can only think that this guy is like. No one told me that if I won Congress, that I would have to do all this extra work on these committees. So I think I'm just going to recuse myself, and I just don't. It almost seems like he's admitting that he can't do the job. Wouldn't you? Don't you feel that way?
I don't know. We haven't really gotten inside his head and why specifically he's doing this. You know, they're going to run into issues where, you know, you're going to be on these meetings with people. He's going to have a vote to extend bills out, and that could create maybe some issues too. It's kind of hard to get inside his head. But, you know, we do know what McCarthy has said in recent memory, and that's that Santos would be allowed to sit on the committees as an elected member. You know, he was elected by his constituents. But he did say that Santos would be removed from Congress if a House Ethics Committee investigation determines he broke the law. So that's kind of, I guess, the next step here, and waiting to see how that House Ethics Committee investigation is going to go, as well as the numerous other investigations he's dealing with.
Yeah, I guess we're splitting hairs when we talk about whether or not someone has broken the law, or if someone has done something that is immoral. Unfair. I mean, if someone lies, the problem is, I think what they're saying here is, you know, politicians lie. There are a lot of politicians who lie, and they don't lose their jobs.
Certainly, yeah. We've kind of heard this on multiple other shows. You know, he wouldn't be the first politician to lie, though.
Right.
But if this campaign, if he in fact broke any campaign finance laws, that's going to create a whole new set of worms that could ultimately force McCarthy, as well as other members of Congress and leadership in his own party, to have to take action at that point.
Yeah. Okay. This is all effective immediately, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually. I don't believe he's actually sat on these committees just yet either. So, in many ways, you know, he never really took the committee assignments that he was offered or assigned to. I mean, it looks like it'll be another situation where I don't know if you guys have kind of seen the videos or not, or your viewers have seen the videos, but pretty much just about every single day, the media has been staking out outside of George Santos' office trying to get answers from him. And he occasionally takes a few questions, but it's got to the point where he started bringing Dunkin' Donuts some days for the members of the media. He's brought them Chick-fil-A in the past. So it looks like that's going to continue, where he's just going to be taking nonstop questions from media members wherever he goes in Congress.
It is interesting to watch them follow him. The cameras follow him as he walks through the hallways.
Oh, it's you know, you see plenty of members dealing with this, right? Especially when there's a scandal going on like this. But you know, this is quite an interesting media storm for somebody who's only been in Congress for less than a month at this point. Still.
Yeah. Okay, Ryan. Interesting stuff. And by the way, will someone else be appointed to replace him?
I believe that's the next step here.
Okay.
Or in fact, you know, it's kind of hard. I think we have to get an answer on that, because he's still technically assigned to the committee assignment, and I guess it's still him. He's just recused himself for the time being. So I guess just his vote will be void until if he's ultimately expelled, or if Congress votes to expel him from those committee assignments, then they can replace him. But in the meantime, I guess it's just an empty seat.
Okay. All right. Okay, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
All right.
An empty seat for the empty suit. How about that?
I like it, and that certainly does kind of fit there, right? Today is National Change Your Password Day. Normally these days are ridiculous and stupid, but I do think today is a day you should at least think about.
Did you know February 2nd is National I Forgot My New Password Day?
It probably is. Well, and that's the problem with the new passwords, is you really need a password that you can't remember.
Right. That's the problem.
These passwords, and so far like with Apple, you're supposedly, this is all secure, that your watch, your phone, your computer, your laptop, your iPad, all falls under the category of the very secure iCloud account, in the iCloud. And so every password on every device that you have should be remembered. That works for me about 80% of the time, maybe 85% of the time. So I still back it up where I have a backup where I know what the password is.
Right.
Because sometimes it just doesn't it doesn't save. But for the most part, your passwords, and I think we're not far from entering a passwordless world. That is coming up. I think within the next year, maybe 2 years, we will not be using passwords. I don't want to say anything, but we won't be using them for all of your devices to log into things. You won't be using passwords.
No,
there will be secure technology that will prevent you or will allow you to not use all of these passwords. But for now, here's what they're telling you, and tell me if you follow this. That you should have a long, unique password for every thing that every password that you need. Each one should be different. Now think about how many passwords you have in your life today.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It really is.
It's not in the dozens. You're probably closer to up to near or over 100.
Wow, I guess
When
I never
you
thought
really
it was
think
that
about
many.
Think about everything you have. Every credit card you have, has some sort of a passcode. If you log on to do any of the work on those credit cards, every one of those has its own passcode. Your banks have a passcode. When you log into your work things, how many things do you have here at work you have to log into? Your email has a passcode. By the way, you'll need to change that like 6 times a year.
Ridiculous.
And the problem I've had with that is the prior to, and it's getting better, but prior to today, sometimes I'll put a new password in and have the password absolutely correct, but the system just won't accept it. So your email doesn't work, and that just turns into hours, doesn't it? It feels like hours of trying to frustratingly figure all of this out. It is one of the most frustrating things that we deal with today. And now they want you to change them ever so often and make them long and unrecognizable.
Yeah, right. So it's not like whatever your favorite, teacup,
22. Teacup 22.
Right.
Oh, great. I gave my password.
It's got to be
away.
like capital H, lowercase j, capital Q, 89.
Hashtag, exclamation point. And then you'll do it, and all of a sudden it won't accept it. And then you'll find out, I'm sorry, we don't accept exclamation points. You put an exclamation point in there, that's not accepted. But we will accept a percent sign and a hashtag. It just is very, very difficult. And I think that people resort to, like, I work with a few companies, and I'll set them up with a password that's, probably 16 characters. Has numbers, has characters and letters, capital and lowercase. And I'll get a message back that says, hey, I know that this is what we're supposed to do, but I'm going to use Bob 35, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, this is what they're recommending, but you want to use Bob 35? Feel free. There are still people that use 1111. Password as their password,
or 1 2 3 4 5.
All of that stuff still gets used. So today is Change Your Password Day. Hopefully the day goes away and we don't have to worry about it anymore. And I don't think we're that far away from that day. I'm just telling you.
Well, but that would mean every, for instance, every electronic device would need. I mean, you'd even need it on your television, right? Like a way to identify you.
I'm beginning to use it with certain things now. It's already starting to happen. So what happens is, as long as you carry a phone, your phone can serve as your password. So so for instance, I have a bank account right now that you put in that information one time, you set it up, and it now remembers that, and it uses my phone and a text message in order to. Now they send you a series of numbers. You have to put those numbers in. But it's done automatically. When you go to it, it'll automatically put that in. Confirms that is you, and then you're good to go. I think you're going to see a lot more of those things happen. I hope. Today also is Groundhog Day.
Is it?
Today is, yeah, right, Davey? It is today, right?
No, tomorrow.
Oh, it's the 2nd?
Right.
Oh, I didn't know. Darn it all, I just saw my shadow out there. I thought we were okay.
It's tomorrow, the 2nd.
According to my sheet, it says it's today.
It's tomorrow.
Okay, I'm not questioning you.
Okay.
I'm questioning the sheet.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
I
put it on the sheet. That's why I'm questioning it. It's tomorrow, you moron. tomorrow.
What are you expecting? Do you think we get out of this winter early, or do you think we got to pay?
I think they're going to have a party in Puxatawny. That's what I think they're going to do.
I just looking ahead to next week. I mean, I know
we're back up into the 30s, but you know what?
40s, 48 Friday. It
what
says.
What kills me though is we'll look at that, and then all of a sudden the forecast this weekend will change and be like, well, it looks like this cold front's going to stick around a little longer.
I'm afraid of that.
I want to tell you that River Hills Properties is and remains the fastest growing real estate company here, and the question would be, why are they growing so quickly? Well, it is, if you talk to the people, like for instance, my wife just recently did an endorsement for River Hills Properties, and she tells the story about how we were trying to, when we were selling our house, we wanted to see if when the house was shown that the agent would be there when the house was shown. And while that will happen on an open house, it would not happen on a normal showing of the home. We could not find a real estate agency that was willing to do that for us. The only one was River Hills. And they do it for everybody. It's just part of their regular services. That is River Hills. And then they come in and they help you every step of the way. Even when the house, we were going through the appraisal, they were looking for comparables, houses in your neighborhood that are comparable, so that you can say, yeah, this house is worth this. The person that was coming in, the official, couldn't come up with any comparables. Robin was right there and whipped him out, took care of everything. Help from start to finish. That's the River Hills way. Why wouldn't you list with River Hills? Call 315-896-1009. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties. WIBX, Utica, Rome. It's 7 o'clock.
She used to work for President Trump. Now she's ready to challenge him. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Nikki Haley ready to run for president, and the former ambassador to the UN will enter the Republican race 2 weeks from today in South Carolina, where Haley used to be governor.
At that time, she would join only former President Donald Trump as an announced candidate. Haley even called the former president to say she was considering a 2024 bid. As far as her party is concerned, Haley says it needs a new direction, and she feels she can be that leader.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Now to Memphis.
Justice for Tyree.
Justice for Tyree. That's Tyree Nichols' stepfather. This morning will be the funeral, weeks after Nichols died following a police beating.
Vice President Kamala Harris is expected to travel to Memphis this morning to attend the funeral at the invite of Nichols' mother and stepfather. We're told the vice president actually spoke with the parents yesterday for more than a half an hour about Nichols' tragic death.
Fox's Charles Watson outside the church in Memphis. 5 ex-police officers have been charged with murder, 2 others relieved of their duties. President Biden will meet today with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy discussing raising the debt limit before a possible June default, as Republicans keep demanding what the president opposes, attaching spending cuts. McCarthy says,
why would you put the economics of America in jeopardy? Why would you play political games? I'm not.
House Republicans hold hearings today on 2 big issues. First, the border, amid a record surge of migrants coming to the U.S. illegally. The other focuses on fraud and waste and federal COVID relief spending.
One of the programs, the Paycheck Protection Program, more than 69,000 questionable Social Security numbers that received some $5.4 billion with a B, and that's just from studying more than 33 million applicants. There were many more.
Fox's David Spunt. An ice storm is glazing areas over from Texas to Tennessee. FlightAware reports more than 1,400 flight cancellations. America's listening to Fox News.
My friend had his home stolen. The crime is home title theft. It's real. It's horrendous, but it's real, and it's everywhere. Now, luckily, this was just a demo, but I saw how criminals all around the world target American homeowners, and that's why I protect my home with Home Title Lock, and you need to as well. And a thief can simply forge your signature on a legal document claiming you sold your home to them. Homeowners insurance and common identity. Lock.com/Sean SEAN. Verify your home's title is still safely in your name. Then just register your address for a free, no obligation home title report for your files. That is a $100 value, absolutely free. That's HometitleLock.com/Sean. HometitleLock.com/Sean SEAN.
We have clear skies. Now down to 8 degrees. WIBX news time is 7:03. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. This news update is brought to you by the My Carl's President's Day sale. Keep more presidents in your pocket. Shop the My Carl's President's Day sale. Historic deals on all in-stock furniture, all in stock with easy, no credit needed financing only at My Carl's Furniture, New Hartford Shopping Center, and now open in Destiny, USA. Well, Governor Kathy Hochul will outline her budget coming up later today. The governor laying out her plans in a speech in the state capitol. Among the items that are expected to be included are funding to create additional affordable housing and money to boost mental health services. Once the governor's budget is revealed, both the Assembly and Senate will present their own proposals after holding hearings for several weeks. The deadline to get a budget passed is April 1st. We'll talk about some of the issues coming up later this morning with New York State Senator Joe Griffo. Well, there could be a new restaurant headed to New Hartford. We're just learning about this morning. It would be in the former Chuck E. Cheese location on Commercial Drive. It's been empty since 2020 when Chuck E. Cheese closed, but something new is coming, a Korean barbecue and hot pot. New restaurant plans have been submitted to the New Hartford Codes Department for review and approval. The owners have not said when the restaurant is set to open, just that it is coming soon. Again, that will be in the old Chuck E. Cheese on Commercial Drive in New Hartford. After a huge success last year, a program designed to pay tribute to local veterans is expanding. Oneida County residents in Rome, New Hartford, Whitesboro, and Utica will see faces of local service members hung on large 30 by 60 banners from Memorial Day through Veterans Day. The Hometown Heroes program provides an opportunity to honor a family member or loved one for their service to the country in any military branch during combat or peacetime. It started along the Memorial Parkway in Utica last year. Organizers had hoped to be able to put up 50 of the banners. They sold nearly 200. The cost is $150. It covers display of your hometown hero for 3 years. It includes their photo, military branch, and years of service and or the name of the conflict they were involved in. And then afterward, they are presented to the veteran's family. Submissions can be accepted through March 31st. More details and a link to submit a loved one at WIBX950.com. Looking for something for the kids to do during the upcoming midwinter recess? Well, the Center for Family Life and Recovery will partner with the City of Rome for a winter bash. The event will feature a snowman building contest, open skating at Kennedy Arena, free hot chocolate for kids and the family. And it's not just for kids in Rome. Students from across Oneida County are welcome. The winter bash is happening Thursday, February 23rd. From 11 to 2:30 at the Kennedy Arena on West Embargo Street. Again, kids, their parents, and families are all invited to enjoy several free activities. Members of the Syracuse Citizen Review Board say they're planning to review the use of force arrest earlier this week involving members of the police department. On Saturday, a woman was taken into custody after she was accused of taking a tip jar and shoving a customer at a local business. She ended up striking her head on a metal window frame while being arrested by an officer. Anyone with footage of that incident is asked to come forward and share it with the Syracuse Citizen Review Board. WIBX News Time is 7:06. Your Weather Center forecast, partly sunny skies for the day today with a high of 24. Mostly cloudy overnight tonight. Temps falling back into the middle teens. Thursday, partly sunny, a high of 33. Thursday night, we could see some snow showers. Friday, a chance of snow as well. Friday's high in the mid-30s again. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of just 9 degrees. And, Bill, we do have a wind chill watch in effect from Thursday through Friday. We could see dangerously cold wind chill temperatures with temps falling as low as 35 below zero. So keep an eye on that. We'll keep updating you if that changes, but that'll be coming up Thursday and Friday. Right now, clear skies. 8 degrees, WIBX News Time, 7:07.
Okay, from the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, Manaski, how are you feeling about Eli Manning's opinion on whether the Giants should keep their quarterback?
I would rather have Eli Manning at his age and condition as the quarterback of the Giants.
He says the Giants should hold on to Daniel Jones, and they will be rewarded for, he should be rewarded for a successful season. And he feels that they will be rewarded as time goes on, as he is the answer. to the woes of the New York Giants.
Well, he certainly isn't. I don't buy that. But here's the thing, though. Somebody asks Eli, right? I don't think he came out on his own and said, somebody asked,
right.
Do you think they should keep Danny Jones? And again, he's still affiliated with the organization. He traveled with him to Philly.
And
what's
what's
he
he
gonna come out
supposed
and
to
go,
say?
Yeah.
You're right. Good point.
You know, I don't know. This kid's guard. Did you
Fair
see
enough.
that pick in the Philly game? Did you see that? He's not going to say that.
Right. The Jets have made a roster transaction on Tuesday. They signed wide receiver and return specialist Deontay Spencer to a reserve/future deal. Also, Damar Hamlin, Bills safety Damar Hamlin, is partnering with the American Heart Association to spread CPR awareness. Boy, so much has come out of what happened to him, but he still has, they say, a long road to recovery. The Lakers snapped their two-game skid with a 129-123 overtime win over the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. LeBron James recorded his first triple-double of the season after leading the Lakers with 28 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists. And the Nets end up recalling Kessler Edwards. They'll visit the Celtics tonight. All-Star break is underway for the NHL. The Comets are home tonight at the Adirondack Bank Center. They're hosting Syracuse again. I believe that's tonight. That game is a 7 o'clock game. And this weekend, the Utica Pioneers play both Friday and Saturday at home at the Adirondack Bank Center. It's their final home regular season games of the season this weekend.
Yeah, they'll hit the road for the 2 weekends after that, and then officially wrap the regular season on the road, and then it's playoff time, and we're expecting a lot of home games, certainly for the Pioneers.
Okay, stand by. Lots to get to. We'll speak with Leon Etienne coming up in a second. What is going to happen to St. E's and St. Luke's? That's been a big question. Bob Schofield from MVHS is coming up in a few minutes. Our free money question of the day from Hopica is just around the corner as well. Well, good morning. It's Wednesday. It's 7:10 at WIBX.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's New York attorneys. 518-554-0000. Online at CordellCordell.com. 100 Great Oaks Boulevard, Suite 110, Albany, New York 12203.
Stock market traders, the new year is here, and it's time to stop taking chances with your portfolio or retirement funds. Take control of your trading and dominate volatility with the power of artificial intelligence technology from Vantage Point. Text the word DEMO to 813-813 to learn more. You can discover how to predict stock market trends up to 3 days ahead with incredible accuracy. Whether you trade stocks, options, Forex, or futures, Vantage Point's patented AI can give you a massive edge in 2023. Text DEMO to 813-813 and learn what you need to stay ahead of markets and find big moves before they happen. Don't wait. Text DEMO to 813-813. Trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Past results do not guarantee future performance. By texting, you agree to the terms available at VantagePointSoftware.com and consent to receive calls and texts using automated technology about offers or info by or on behalf of Vantage Point. Your consent is not a condition to purchase and can be revoked at any time. Message and data rates may apply. Text DEMO to 813-813.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I wasn't feeling like myself, and I wasn't sure why. I couldn't sleep. My joints and muscles hurt, mood swings, and sometimes even hot flashes.
Estrogen decline can begin for women as early as 40 years old and can trigger the symptoms we commonly associate with menopause. These symptoms can be gradual at first and can become really disruptive to daily life.
I wanted to find a hormone-free solution to help relieve my symptoms. My doctor told me to try Equell.
Equell is the only supplement made with S-Equol, a naturally derived plant-based ingredient that relieves symptoms of estrogen decline.
With Equell, I feel like myself again.
Discover safe relief for symptoms of estrogen decline with Equell. You can try Equell risk-free for 90 days with Equell's 90-day money-back guarantee. For more information and to get 20% off your first order, go to equell.com/news. That's EQUELLE.com/news for 20% off. Equell.com/news.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, here's my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed-rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 7.99% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 7.99% APR to 23.99% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
I just remember reading those letters, and I'm like, oh my God. What am I going to do?
Dana called Tax Relief Solutions for a free tax help consultation.
It was like the first thing they did, but everything's going to be okay.
Tax Relief Solutions can help stop wage garnishments, remove liens from your property, and settle your debt with the IRS for much less than you owe.
I owed $31,000 and change, and the offer in compromise was about 10% of the total that I owed. We have accepted the offer. I can't even explain the sense of relief that I have now.
Don't face the IRS alone. Let Tax Relief Solutions fight for you. Find out all the IRS relief programs available in the first free call. 800-200-7174. That's 800-200-7174.
It should be a company that everybody knows about.
The call is free. The information is free. You could save thousands. Call 800-200-7174. 800-200-7174.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Okay, I got some people asking about YouTube Live. We are on YouTube. We're streaming live on YouTube. As we speak, if you search for it, it should pop up. And make sure you subscribe, because if you subscribe, every day that it goes live, it'll end up in your inbox on your email.
There I am. Yeah, we're up.
So subscribe. Hit that little subscribe button, and you'll always know, and you'll always be able to click on it. There.
It's so easy, my mom can do it.
That is true. Your mother, brilliant.
And she's out there pitching for us, as well, telling people, giving them instructions on how to watch the show on YouTube. Because many people ask her, why isn't your son on television anymore?
Yeah, I hear that often. And the beauty is, she's not watching on an iPhone or a tablet, is she?
No, she's watching on the TV in her living room.
On her TV in her living room, yeah. As long as you have any of the streaming services, you can find, you'll be able to get YouTube.
So the answer is, we're still on TV, we're just not on cable.
Correct. And actually, to me, the quality is, I think the quality's better. More to come on that. Davey, somebody asking, is today Groundhog Day? Is today Groundhog's Day?
No.
Groundhog Day? It is not today. When is it, Davey?
It's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. Okay. It's February 2nd. Comes around every year, just like Groundhog Day.
We'll ask you again in a few minutes, bud.
Here's that's the beauty of as I get older, forgetting things. There are so many new things that happen every day. It's unbelievable. Here's Leon Etienne. He'll be performing at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino in the showroom for a big show this weekend. Hello, Leon. Good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning. It's so great to talk to you.
Leon, I have to ask, are you, obviously you're performing. You were in Old Forge at points over the summer and back at Turning Stone. Are you gearing up for another big national show or competition or something like that?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So when we left Old Forge at the end of the summer, we literally have hit the road nationally again with our big show. So this show that's coming to the Turning Stone this Saturday is the biggest version of the show. It's got all the big illusions I've done on America's Got Talent, on Jimmy Fallon, on Penn and Teller Fool Us, all the TV show stuff, all the big, Las Vegas style illusions. And then we even have a new segment in the show that has just been killing, where we actually bring close-up magic into the audience, right in people's faces, and it's been incredible. So yeah, that's exactly. We're back on tour nationally with the big show, and we're so lucky to be able to make a stop right here in our hometown area. There's a 4:00 show and an 8:00 show, and you go to get your tickets at magicrocks.com.
All right, very cool. And to be doing it, I mean, the showroom is completely redone now. It's really, I mean, it was beautiful before, but it's really nice inside.
Yeah, so I haven't had a chance to walk in there since the remodel, but the production team told us that they hadn't completed every single thing that was, on the docket to do until this week. So they said technically you are the first show in there since the 100% completely stamped of approval done remodel. So it's kind of cool to be opening the new showroom.
Well, on your way out, why don't you make some equipment disappear? We could use an upgrade around
right.
here.
Yeah, there are things we could use.
Yeah, let me know what you guys want. See what we can do.
Nice. Okay, and could they also buy them through the Turning Stone, or just go through your link is the best way to go?
Well, it's through Ticketmaster, so everyone links to Ticket. So if you go to Turning Stone, you're going to get Ticketmaster, and if you go to my website, magicrocks.com, Ticketmaster. So yeah, this Saturday, Turning Stone Resort Casino, Magic Rocks is coming back to town.
Okay, great stuff there, Leon. Thank you, man.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right, good luck. He'll be at the Turning Stone. 2 shows on Saturday. Check that all out. Pretty darn cool. It is cool that he'll fill that place for both of those shows, and to be able to do it in that arena is pretty darn awesome. I want to give you an update, if I could, and I believe I have it here. Yeah. So I'm going to give you a tip, and I'm going to give you an update.
Okay. Well, what's the tip?
The tip is coming after the update. Sorry. So let's start with the update. I have an order.
Okay.
Which it might not look it, but it's organized chaos. Jimmy Fallon. I want to give you an update for Jimmy Fallon at Fat Cats Comedy Club. There are. Hold on. I can tell you right now. Let me get a complete. I believe there are. How many left? This is for the matinee show at 5 p.m. There are 7 seats left.
Wow.
Davey?
You got to tell him from his manager. He's saying the wrong time. He's been saying
right.
6 o'clock.
As long as we get in there on time, that's all that matters. It's 5 o'clock.
From his manager, it's 5.
Okay. You're his secondary manager. Why are you not calling him and dealing with it?
I talked to him yesterday, but I forgot to mention.
Okay. Well, who's in fault here? Who's in fault? All right. So 7 seats remaining, and that is sold out. But here's the tip. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
We are opening up. I believe it's 5 more seats for the 7 p.m. show on Saturday, February 18th for Jimmy Fallon. So that's the 7. Those are the 7 o'clock is that prime spot that people want.
Yeah.
So 5 seats will be opening up today at some point. I don't know when, because it's done through the ticket managing system. But I put the request in. 5 seats will open today.
And for which show?
7 p.m. Saturday, February 18th.
Okay.
And there are about 7 seats remaining in the 5 o'clock show. That's it. Everything. I would expect this to be completely sold out by the end of the week. Craziness.
And Bob Schofield's on the edge of his seat here, waiting for this tip.
That was the tip.
That was the tip?
The tip is.
I thought that was the update.
No, the update is there are 7 left for the matinee. The tip is sometime today, 5 seats are going to open up at 7 o'clock for Saturday. Tip, update, in reverse order. Okay, there you have it. Bob Schofield is highly confused and in studio right now. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. So this has been one of the Bob, of course, from MVHS. This has been one of the questions everybody seems to ask and is asking for an answer to, and that is what happens to St. E's, what happens to St. Luke's hospitals once the new hospital opens?
Well, as we've discussed previously, MVHS is committed to repurposing, selling both those campuses. We had sent out requests for proposals prior to the pandemic, but unfortunately, the pandemic really slowed down that process of people expressing interest in buying an old hospital campus. Real estate at that time, other than commercial, was pretty slow. But recently, as we announced last week, the City of Utica, Mohawk Valley Edge, and MVHS have partnered to redo the request for proposal, RFP, have sent it back out. And the difference this time is that we will plan on having somebody look at the properties in a different light.
Yeah.
Our first RFP essentially was finding people who might be interested in purchasing the properties, recognizing that selling a hospital is a little harder, unless, of course, you're going to use it as a hospital, which is not the intent. A little harder than selling another old building for whatever reason. So this RFP is not for the sale of the building, but to prepare the property for sale. So whether or not they will give some advice on infrastructure improvements, do a phase 2 environmental study, which really will look at the contents within the building to see what would need to be removed if the building was to be demolished, to consider how much it would cost to demolish, looking at zoning opportunities, looking at utility infrastructure. That way we can provide a future buyer a better understanding of what the property is and maybe make some of those changes at that site so that it's more of a shovel-ready location.
Okay, all right.
You said everybody asks about what the future of those two facilities is, and everybody asks, and everybody's also got an idea as to what they think it should be.
Yeah, we've heard quite a few of them.
So I got two more for you. And
the hospital, of course. That's where the new hospital would go.
I'll tell you what. Yesterday I was attending the event for the expansion of the Hometown Heroes, and some of the vets were there, and some of the military Order of the Purple Heart. One of the gentlemen said to me, you know what they ought to do? They got to make a veterans hospital in the Utica area. You either got to go to, I don't know, where do you got to go now?
A VA,
Syracuse?
yeah.
Yeah, VA.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was their suggestion. Is any thought been given to that? Is that even possible, do you know?
Well, that has been brought to our attention on a number of occasions.
Oh, it has?
Well, as you know, VA hospitals are federally run. They would have to have an interest in doing so. So there is this gentleman. He's attended quite a few events that I've been at as well. So maybe it might be the same gentleman, but he's approached me and said, why don't you put a VA? Well, it's not as though that we can open up a VA.
Right.
There's a VA clinic in Rome, as you might know. There's a hospital in Syracuse. It's probably unlikely that they would open up another facility in Utica. But again, they've not reached out to us with any interest in doing so.
Another thing somebody mentioned, and I thought this was outside the box, or maybe not, but is there a way to drive into the hospital? The suggestion was, remember Charlestown would store, before the fire, would store vehicles, or it was large storage, covered storage for vehicles, boats, whatever it might be. Is a heated, almost like a large storage garage, a possibility for a building that size, that age?
Well, I've never given that any thought, but the building itself is broken into a number of rooms within it.
Sure.
So you would essentially have to remove most of the interior infrastructure. But I'm sure if someone wanted to do so and it fulfilled the city's requirements for zoning and whatnot, that could occur.
Sure. There were a couple of ideas that were pitched yesterday.
Are you making an offer?
No.
Usually it's funny because usually the storage, where they store the cars and those storage facilities tend to be those old buildings that nobody wants. So I would think you're talking about prime real estate, really in both locations. Maybe St. E's more residential, but that's what is the size? What's the size of both properties?
Well, St. Elizabeth is a little over 20 acres with the buildings that are on it now.
Yeah,
and
the nursing school would stay.
And the plan always has been that the one building that houses the College of Nursing would remain there. The other buildings on the property are not necessary to remain there.
Yeah.
And then the St. Luke's campus is 65 acres. But as we've indicated in the past, the building that houses the long-term care facility and other operations in there will remain on that property.
Okay. Has there been any talk of some sort of a deal with Utica College, Utica University?
No, Utica University has not expressed any interest in the St. Luke's campus.
All right. So basically what we're talking about now is prepping the property, getting everything ready so that next step can occur.
Right. And your point earlier is correct. South Utica is a great residential community. There is not a lot of vacant property in the city of Utica for building in that fashion.
This could turn out to be quite the opportunity.
It absolutely could be. And couch that with New York State's desire to increase housing units across the state, especially within cities, by 80,000 units over the course of the next number of years. This obviously, I think, fits quite nicely into that
Right.
concept.
All right. And then can you talk about the current status of the hot? We're in 2023. Before you know it, pitchers and catchers will be reporting. It'll be baseball season. We'll be making our way through the summer and talking football in August. And the hospital will be opening at some point very shortly thereafter.
I remember sitting here a couple of years ago and not really ever wondering if it ever comes to completion because it seems so far away. And then you get to the 1st of 2023 and realizing we're now months away, not years away.
Yeah.
But we are. We're making great progress. The building is over 85% complete.
Wow.
There are portions within the building that are essentially done. The emergency room is essentially completed. The a number of the office spaces on the first floor are done as well. The large equipment vendors for OR equipment, operating room equipment, are arriving next month, and they will start installing that. So the ORs will be done shortly afterwards. The plan still is a substantial completion date of August 30th, and we would start moving patients the last weekend of October.
I have to ask you this because I heard this again, and I think I might have asked you this on the air before. There is a thought circulating that once the patient move begins, there's like some big clock on the wall, and there's a 24-hour. It's got to be done within 24 hours. Every patient has to be moved. I heard this again yesterday. Is that true? How does that process work, and how long will that take?
So there is a company that we've hired called Healthcare Relocators. They are a worldwide firm, and their sole role is to help with projects like ours to relocate equipment, supplies, and put the plan together for moving patients from the 2 campuses. It will be a one-day event.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it will be an extraordinarily well-orchestrated process where patients are arriving from the 2 facilities all day long, 6, 8 at a time. We need to obviously make sure that we have the right mix of staff at both locations, the sending location and receiving. But over the course of 12, 15 hours, that all will occur, while at the same time we need to continue to maintain services at St. Elizabeth, at St. Luke's, and also startup services at the Wynn. We'll have obviously a significant amount of public communication talking about the plans, make sure that our local EMS services are aware what the plans are so an ambulance doesn't show up to a closed facility. But yeah, this will all happen in over the course of a day.
Now, but prior to that day, there will be, let's call it rehearsal.
Oh, absolutely.
That's going to be going on for quite some time.
So we've been working with our staff since February of 2021 to prepare them to move into this building.
Wow.
We spend a lot of time looking at how we take care of patients today, how we can do it better, and how that fits into the new environment.
Yeah.
Not only the space, but are there things that we do today that are just okay, and we could do them a lot better in the future? Spending a lot of time on that. Our staff will have been in the building multiple times before the first patient comes in because they need to understand where things are, how they work, a lot of new equipment, a lot of new places where we store supplies. You know, so think for a minute. We're moving into a brand new building that people have to acclimate themselves to. A lot of new equipment, and then we're bringing the staffs of 2 facilities, St. Elizabeth and St. Luke's, together into one place. So we're going to start working with a whole bunch of new coworkers. So we have to take a lot of time prior to that first day to make sure we've accomplished those tasks.
I do find a couple things that are interesting, and I want your take on. This is just my mind, how it, it's amazing we're putting all this money, all this effort into a building that none of us want to go to. Think about it.
Well,
But if we have to, obviously, you want it to be something special, and I think that's going to be the case. The other part is, and you can answer both of these, but I find it, Stewart's fight, another Stewart's fighting over it, the Kelberman Center fighting over it, the hospital fighting over it. What makes you think that whatever ends up happening at St. E's and at St. Luke's, have you talked about the fact that this might include a fight?
Well, it could.
Yeah.
I mean, we've certainly point out a number of examples where that's already occurred.
Someone's not going to be happy about what the decision is.
Right. So St. Elizabeth, as an example, we have had meetings with the neighbors previously when we did the first request for proposal. As a matter of fact, within the past month, We had a meeting at the St. Elizabeth campus to give people an update. But you're right. There's as many opinions on what should happen with that campus as there are people. At the end of the day, our obligation is to make sure that St. Elizabeth is secured, hopefully sold, and that whatever it's sold for provides benefit to the community, especially for those in South Utica.
All right. Anything else you want to add? I mean, everything's moving along. The parking garage, of course, is going to come a little bit later, but the progress on that, I've been incredibly surprised by how much you've been able to do because the weather has really permitted that, it seems.
Well, knock on wood, we've had really good weather this early winter, so the parking garage has made tremendous progress. So, hopefully we can pick up a little time, and that gap is a little shorter than we originally had indicated.
All right, nice.
Great.
Okay, Bob, thank you, as always. Maybe we can do a little picture tour coming up soon.
Sure, we'd love to have you in.
I can't imagine what it looks like inside right now. It's got to be pretty impressive.
Great.
Bob Schofield, MVHS, 733 at WIBX.
You have cancer. 3 words you wish you could unhear. But just because a cancer diagnosis may be a shock to your system doesn't mean cancer surgery has to be. Now, there's Edge Radiosurgery. It breaks down tumors in less than an hour per treatment. No knife, no hospital stay. Faster treatments, lower risk. Edge Radiosurgery, now at AMP of New York. Learn more at ampofny.com/edge. You may experience side effects which may be severe. Ask your doctor if Edge Radiosurgery and Associated Medical Professionals of New York is correct for you.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I wasn't feeling like myself, and I wasn't sure why. I couldn't sleep. My joints and muscles hurt, mood swings, and sometimes even hot flashes.
Estrogen decline can begin for women as early as 40 years old and can trigger the symptoms we commonly associate with menopause. These symptoms can be gradual at first and can become really disruptive to daily life.
I wanted to find a hormone-free solution to help relieve my symptoms. My doctor told me to try Equell.
Equell is the only supplement made with S-Equol, a naturally derived plant-based ingredient that relieves symptoms of estrogen decline.
With Equell, I feel like myself again.
Discover safe relief for symptoms of estrogen decline with Equell. You can try Equell risk-free for 90 days with Equell's 90-day money-back guarantee. For more information and to get 20% off your first order, go to equell.com/news. That's EQUELLE.com/news for 20% off. Equell.com/news.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number? Not me. Nope. Nuh-uh. Oh no, he's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is a firm that practices family law exclusively. We focus on only one area of the law to maximize our strength and effectiveness as advocates for clients that have everything on the line: their homes, retirement, savings, and most importantly, their children. We're the partner our clients count on. If we can be of help to you, give us a call.
Online at CordellCordell.com, 518-554-0000, 100 Great Oaks Boulevard, Suite 110, Albany, New York, 12203.
As a Walgreens pharmacist, I talk with people all the time about little tips and tricks for filling their Medicare prescriptions, like taking advantage of Walgreens 90-day refills to save them a trip, or using Refill by Scan, which is super easy and right on your phone. And for anybody worried about prescription costs, I say, hey, we got you, with low-cost copays on many medications.
Let's talk about making things easier. Walgreens is here. Fill your way and save at walgreens.com/Medicare. See pharmacists for restrictions and exclusions.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, we're going to do our free money question coming up in a second. Get ready for that. Stand by, Davey. We'll do it in a second. We also have some Comets tickets to give away, Pioneers tickets to give away, Fat Cats Comedy Club tickets to give away, and we might just start giving away equipment. Some of the stuff, it doesn't work all that well, but we just want to get rid of it. Okay, you have a couple of comments that based on MVHS and all of what's happening.
Sure, let me get to, this is from Well, I guess I've got a couple of different issues here. I want to begin with this is from FX in New Hartford. I think he caught our best of broadcast this morning. He's talking about John Zogby, who was on yesterday. FX says, John Zogby's wrong. No law-abiding citizen without a very expensive permit, which is monitored by the ATF, owns a military rifle. However, a criminal may have them. Number two, anyone...
Well, can I just say there may be a criminal. You may call them a criminal. They just might be somebody that got a hold of it. They're generally a law-abiding citizen, but they collect guns. And we did say yesterday, and I didn't make the correction while John was on, but automatic weapons, I know they don't want us to call them weapons, but that's really what an automatic rifle would be, right? It's a weapon. A machine gun is a weapon. There's a difference between a semi-automatic and an automatic. I don't know. There were some people very angry with me thinking that I said automatic weapons are legal in New York. I never said that. They're not. So when John said that why people should be able to get these automatic weapons, you can't get those legally in New York.
Boy, and the comments keep coming in here, and they get better and better. I'll share that one in a second. So this is still FX. He says, number two, anyone that stockpiles ammunition is not a threat to their community, no matter what spin you put on it.
I get nervous when anybody says, what do you need all that ammunition for? That is a very dangerous road to go down.
I mean, again, that argument would be in line with capping cars at 70 miles an hour.
Why do you need a car that goes 120 miles an hour?
There may be shooting sports and ammo prices and availability go up, like everything else does.
I buy my toilet paper in bulk, and my wife says, "What do you need all that toilet paper for?" Well, I got a deal. When you buy more, you get a better price.
The government knows gun laws have zero impact on crime because criminals don't follow the law. Only citizens do. The government knows all they do by passing those laws. More gun laws is restricting law-abiding citizens. Why do they want to do that? So that was from FX in New Hartford regarding our segment with John Zogby yesterday. I want to get into this. Well, first let me go to Panorama. This is my own thought on this.
All right.
We were talking about what could go because Panorama's going to be closing, it's believed, this summer, and the lot that it sits on is for sale. That lot is along Genesee Street near the Fast Track across from Murnane Field. It includes Bagel Grove, McDonald's, the Tony's Pizza, and, of course, the Panorama that's there.
I can't believe the McDonald's is going too?
Well, I guess I don't exactly know that. My understanding is that whole lot, which includes those properties, is for sale, right? So, I mean, if somebody came in and said, I'm going to do something else here, or I don't want McDonald's here, I guess they got to go.
Yeah. All right.
So, but my thought was, it's such a large parcel of land, what would go there? And why wouldn't you just sell the parking lot attached to the Panorama property? So I'm wondering, do they want, I say they, is the thought that we can market this to a hotel chain and build a new hotel further up Jenny that would, certainly service other parts of the city?
That's a big plot of property.
It is a giant plot, right?
Yeah.
And I just wondered why, what else could go there?
McDonald's is really relatively brand new there.
So just if anyone has thoughts on that, you can submit them to us via the WIBX 950 app. And then I have another thing. This is in the news today. This is from John in Utica, and it's about the Mohawk Valley Hometown Heroes program. All right, not to open a can of worms. Certainly, we all honor our veterans, but the coverage of the street banner expansion in Utica makes it sound as though the city is doing this on its own, responding to overwhelming demand, etc. These banner programs in cities have come about over the years as a result of for-profit companies' efforts, haven't they? Look at hometownheroesbanners.com, for example. Now, this is a different website than the Mohawk Valley Hometown Heroes website. So there's an interesting thing that I feel like went on this week. Last year, the city of Utica, a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution, started the Hometown Heroes program. It was in Utica on the Memorial Parkway. They had hoped to get 50 people. They ended up selling 200 banners to honor local veterans.
Amazing.
This year, they wanted to expand it. Oneida County got involved, so now you got Whitesboro, New Hartford, Rome, all participating. They held a press conference yesterday to make the announcement and to let people know that you can now submit a loved one. It's $150. Your banner will be up for 3 years, all the details. Well, Monday afternoon, the city of Utica held its own press conference saying we're expanding this program. So I think this is some of the confusion that John is talking about here in his message. It sounds like the city of Utica is doing this. Well, it's because I understand it did start in Utica, but they kind of went off on their own and had an announcement that we're expanding. And then the following day, you find out, well, they're expanding in Rome, Utica, New Hartford, and Whitesboro is the other one. I don't know. I just thought it was noteworthy. I think it's another.
There was a county announcement coming, and lo and behold, Mayor Palmieri held a press conference the day before the county was going to do it. Do you think that's by design? Yes.
I found it interesting, yeah.
This is the Palmieri, I gotcha, Pacenti move. That's what it seems like to me.
If that's the case, it seems quite
going to be very interesting. All right,
really
Davey, let's do our free money question of the day. I want to get into a story about complete streets. I know people, listen, Mark Butler, I don't want to hear about complete streets anymore. Mark, you're going to have to just hear this story because you're not going to believe it. Davey, let's do the free money question first, though. We're looking for caller number what?
3.
Third caller through the phone lines. Right now, from the Hobica Law Firm, your chance to win $100 in cash plus much more on the line. Third caller right now, 315-736-0186. Quick break. We'll come right back and do it on WIBX.
Stock market traders, the new year is here, and it's time to stop taking chances with your portfolio or retirement funds. Take control of your trading and dominate volatility with the power of artificial intelligence technology from Vantage Point. Text the word DEMO to 813-813 to learn more. You can discover how to predict stock market trends up to 3 days ahead with incredible accuracy. Whether you trade stocks, options, Forex, or futures, Vantage Point's patented AI can give you a massive edge in 2023. Text DEMO to 813-813 and learn what you need to stay ahead of markets and find big moves before they happen. Don't wait. Text DEMO to 813-813. Trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Past results do not guarantee future performance. By texting, you agree to the terms available at VantagePointSoftware.com and consent to receive calls and texts using automated technology about offers or info by or on behalf of Vantage Point. Your consent is not a condition to purchase and can be revoked at any time. Message and data rates may apply. Text DEMO to 813-813.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right. Here we go. A chance for you to win $100 in cash. Plus, I have some Comets tickets to give away for tonight. I have Pioneers tickets to give away. We have Home Show tickets to give away. We have the Fun and Food and Fun card from Mohawk Valley Garden to give away. So much and so little time to do it. Let's start with Court in Rome. Good morning, Court. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Bill. How you doing?
Good. From the Hobica Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica at 315-724-1600 for all of your legal needs. Here we go with your question. You'll have 7 seconds to answer. Here we go. America's first ever Groundhog Day was held in 1887. This came to America from what country? Ready, go.
Ireland.
Gonna go with Ireland. And, you know, I got to say, I would have thought maybe Netherlands because Pennsylvania. But that's not. It actually is, it's Germany. The Groundhog Day, springtime, winter looking to springtime concept. This all came from Germany. Well, listen, it doesn't matter because we have a lot of stuff for you. The all-in-one food and fun card from Aquavino, Babes, Taylor and the Cook, 72 Tavern and Grill, and any of the concession stands at the Adirondack Bank Center or Nexus. It's a $25 gift card. I have a table for 6 at Fat Cats Comedy Club this weekend. Go to fatcatscomedyclub.com for details. Davey will hook you up on that. We have Home Show tickets to give away. That's going on this weekend at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino in the Event Center.
Yes, absolutely. So, Smitty, hook them up. And is there more?
And if you'd like to go to tonight's Comets game, Court, I have tickets for tonight's Comets game as well. So I'm going to
make that.
I'm going to let you work all of that out with Davey. Davey, I'll need name, phone number, Social Security, credit card, any bank statements you can give us, PIN numbers. Yes, that's very important. The PIN numbers are really important. So stand by. Davey, thank you, Court. Davey's going to hook you up.
Quick comment here. And matter of fact, I got 3 of them. I shared a quick thought on what could go at the Panorama, and I just thought with a property that size and the lots behind it, maybe it would be marketed, or they were trying to market it to somebody who wants to build a hotel there. Well, Steve, Nagel, and Jeff all chimed in this morning with some great comments, so I appreciate it, guys. Jeff says McDonald's has a 60-year lease on that property, and before there was a McDonald's there was a hotel on the corner property right next to Panorama. Nagel says, funny you mentioned that, building a hotel there, because at the old Panorama, it was where the McDonald's sits now. It was actually the Utica Travel Lodge, and Nagel sent me a photo.
I seem to remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Wow, that is cool. And then Steve chiming in, you might not remember this, but prior to McDonald's going in, there used to be a travel lodge there.
Yeah.
It was demolished to make room for the McDonald's. On an interesting trivia note, that travel lodge appears in the movie Slapshot when Paul Newman uses the payphone in the parking lot. So
that is pretty cool history.
That's why
right
I
there.
love our audience.
All right, I want to tell you, Mark Butler, the mayor of Newport, former assemblyman, had the big event with Rocky Fiato and Barb at Waterfront Grill over the weekend. Rocky, I should say that Mark said, and I quote, enough talk about the complete streets. We don't really care about it anymore. We've heard enough of it. Well, I want to tell you, Mark, that inspired me to talk about complete streets. So yesterday, I'm going to do my setup that I did earlier, okay? See if I can make it work this time. Yesterday, I decided to take my CX-9 from Steve Pawnee Mazda. Thank you, Ricky Z. To take my vehicle down and drive the complete street new pattern because there was no snow on the road. I figured it'd give me an idea what it feels like to drive down Genesee Street by the Stanley and experience complete streets. I did it. And, Jeff, you're not going to believe what happened to me. Here's what happened. While driving in my CX-9 by the Stanley on Genesee, a guy in the bike lane with a shopping cart pushing scrap metal right by me. The guy looked rough, but he was moving fast as he kept on tuning his horn. A Chicago market shopping cart dated 1984. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. I pushed my foot down to the floor. Johnny Rocket in my wake. The complete street reduced to a single lane, and now I was forced to brake. He pushed that yellow cart past me as he kept up his horn play. I'll show him this complete street mess gives me the right of way. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. My car went into passing gear like Ricky Z said it would. Now this race is just not fair, his downfall understood. But when I peeked in the rearview mirror, I could not believe my eyes. The grocery cart was right behind, I'm gasping with surprise. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. Now we're doing about 55, I made a second lane. The shopping cart going right past me is messing with my brain. This guy must have been about 75, sucking on a bottle of gin. I'll show him that these complete streets are not for guys like him. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. Now we're doing about 95, his car began to smoke. He still pulled right up next to me as if we're going slow. I rolled down the window and he yelled at me just so I could hear. Hey Keeler, I'm just wondering, can you spare a beer? Can you spare a beer? That's exactly what happened to me yesterday. Can you believe that, guy?
I won't be going downtown now.
Unbelievable.
Actually, I was the guy in the cart.
Yeah. So
Well
there
done
you
on
go,
that,
Mark
Bill.
Butler. Enough of complete streets. We've heard enough of that crap. No more. I had an opportunity to, and actually, I subscribed to ESPN Plus for one reason, Davey, and you know what that reason is?
Because of Colgate.
Because of Colgate. And I watched the game on Saturday, became a little bit nervous because they looked like their record, their streak was in jeopardy. And, man, they came back and they won handily. And then another big win on Monday. Their streak remains. And let's keep it going. We'd love to see Colgate back in the tournament. Coach Matt Langle on the line right now from Colgate University. Good morning, Coach.
Morning, guys.
It's the only reason I can think to get ESPN Plus, at least for me, anyway. It's you guys. So, and then you were on CBS Sports Network, I think, Monday night.
Yeah, we were. So Monday night, there's a great Patriot League has a great little package with CBS Sports, a couple games a week. Those guys do a great job.
Okay, let's talk about this team and this run. You're undefeated right now in the conference, and you got some great shooters. But it's bigger than that. Of course, you've had some huge wins this year.
We do have a great team. It's a senior, veteran-laden team. We were able to beat Cuse at the Dome again earlier this year. We've had, as you alluded to, a number of close games in conference play, but I think the experience, the leadership, the togetherness of the group has found a way to win a lot of different ways, which can be a little bit stressful as the coach, but it also is encouraging when you can win in a lot of different ways.
Manaski.
Coach, if I'm not mistaken, heading into the tournament last year when we talked to you, because of COVID, I believe you were allowed. There was an extra year of eligibility, so you had a very veteran team. But you say you have a veteran team again this year.
Yeah, it's true. We last year we had two guys, Jack Ferguson and Nellie Cummings, who both elected to stay a little bit longer. They graduated in December of last year. Nellie Cummings had an additional year. He's playing point guard for Pittsburgh this year and doing a great job. But two guys, Oliver Lynch-Daniels and Tucker Richardson, who was preseason player of the year and is certainly playing like that this year, also elected to come back, continue their studies here at Colgate, and continue to play for the team. So, we are on the older side of things with, also some fourth-year guys and then a freshman who's doing great. But, yeah, we've been able to continue to stay old, which is, I think, a big part of why our team is as good as we are.
So if I could, this Saturday you'll be playing American, and the last time you played, it was a victory, but it was a close one, 62-61. This is anticipated to be quite a game this weekend.
Yeah, they have a good team. They're really well coached. Play Princeton style, so it's not as up tempo as we would like the game to be. They're physical. They've got size. They play inside and outside, and they gave us everything we could handle with the game here. So I'm sure it'll be a closely contested one down there in DC.
All right, and you have what are you looking for through the rest of the season? 7 games left, and then on to the conference tournament.
Yeah, as cliche as it sounds, and I hate to be this way, it's really just got to be about the next game at this point.
Yeah.
Obviously, the group set out to try and win big non-league games. We were able to beat Syracuse. We lost some tough ones. They want to be regular season champions. That's just, and then, to get in the NCAA tournament from the Patriot League, you've got to win in the conference tournament. But the best way to do that is to be at home and have home court. The best way to do that is to be regular season champions, and the best way to do that is just win the next game in front of you. So a lot of those things, there's a great streak going on and all those things, but really, as cliche as it sounds, it's just about trying to get ready for the next game.
And I know you hate this, and I apologize, but it's what we're thinking, and I apologize in advance. And that is, we'd love to see you in the tournament, and you have a team this year that my guess is that I just feel like this team could go deeper this year.
We've played a couple of close games in the tournament. Tennessee, our first trip, 4 years ago now, and then played a close one last year against Wisconsin. And so I think the group is battle tested. Those games, you never know how they're going to turn out, and it's so matchup specific. But we do have some size in our front court with some experienced guys in their third and fourth years, like we talked about the veteran backcourt and with again some experience. So yeah, should things work out like we like to, and us be fortunate enough to get there, I like our team a lot, and I think we can play a few different ways and not get totally outsized, which sometimes happens against those higher seeded teams. But again, one day at a time, and we'll worry about that if we're fortunate enough to get there.
All right, so 4 o'clock, is that televised or is it ESPN Plus?
Yeah, thank goodness for your subscription.
That's right.
ESPN
I
Plus.
got it. Listen, it's $9.99. It's no big deal, and you can stream it right onto your flat screen TV or sitting there in your living room, and you're watching it. That's American on Saturday. They've won 2 in a row, but Colgate has won 11 straight, and what's that, Davey?
And 26 in a row.
Right, in the conference, 26 in a row. Just think about that. And I know you don't want to, Coach. It's just one game at a time, and I get it. But we wish you the best, and we'll be watching this Saturday.
All right, thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Coach Matt Langle, Colgate University.
Building a perennial powerhouse there, right? I mean, it's the occasional NCAA berth or, conference championship is great, but it's almost like they enter the season as the odds-on favorite to do both of those things each season now.
Well, and as Davey can tell you, they're, 17-7 on the season overall, and part of that is they just don't play a light schedule. The way you prepare to win in the Patriot League and then to go on to the tournament, you play tough programs.
And they get a good crowd of people there. I've been to a few games this season already. They get a marvelous crowd of people.
Yep, they definitely do. So that'll be Saturday at 4 o'clock in Hamilton. Is it in Hamilton? Are they home this time?
No, they're in Washington, D.C.
All right. But it'll be on ESPN Plus. So there you go. Got a break. Coming up next hour, much to get to, including Senator Joe Griffo, and we'll talk about the changes to the exit numbers on the thruway coming up.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
The late Tyree Nichols to rest this morning in Memphis. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. His funeral will be in about 3 hours. 3 weeks after Nichols died following a police beating that's left 5 now ex-cops charged with murder, 2 other officers relieved of their duties.
Vice President Kamala Harris is expected, as well as the brother of George Floyd. Floyd's death by Minneapolis police sparked months of protest.
Fox's Jill Nato.
Tyree Nichols was a father to a 4-year-old son. He's also leaving behind his parents and siblings, like his brother Jamal Dupree.
My brother, he's never lifted a finger to nobody.
Dupree was speaking in Memphis last night at Mason Temple with family members and civil rights activists.
If my brother was here today and he had to say something, he would tell us to do this peacefully.
There is ice coating the Memphis area. 1/4 inch thick in some places, from there to Arkansas to Oklahoma to Texas, causing nearly 200,000 power outages.
Staying in the house, staying warm, trying to get as much food and stuff as we can before it gets bad.
He's in Fort Worth. Icy conditions have caused hundreds of car crashes, 3 deaths in Texas. FlightAware reports 1,800 flights canceled, most of them to or from Dallas and Austin. A big-time scare at a Target in Omaha, Nebraska. A man walked in and started shooting. Police shot and killed him when he wouldn't drop the rifle.
We did a search for any victims, customers, workers, because there were some people hiding in there. We could not find anybody that has been hurt.
Omaha Police Chief Todd Schmutter. President Biden will meet with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy today on raising the debt limit before a possible June default. The president has said he would not negotiate with Republicans who demand spending cuts. McCarthy says
any type of gimmicks or political games is just irresponsible.
Former President Trump will soon have a Republican challenger as he runs for the White House again. Nikki Haley will enter the race in 2 weeks. She was his ambassador to the UN, also a former South Carolina governor. America's listening to Fox News.
My friend had his home stolen. The crime is home title theft. It's real. It's horrendous, but it's real, and it's everywhere. Now, luckily, this was just a demo, but I saw how criminals all around the world target American homeowners, and that's why I protect my home with Home Title Lock, and you need to as well. And a thief can simply forge your signature on a legal document claiming you sold your home to them. Homeowners insurance and common identity theft programs do not protect you, but Home Title Lock does. So protect yourself. Just go to their website. It's HometitleLock.com/Sean, SEAN. Verify your home's title is still safely in your name. Then just register your address for a free, no-obligation home title report for your files. That is a $100 value, absolutely free. That's HometitleLock.com/Sean, HometitleLock.com/Sean, SEAN.
A couple of clouds, but we have some sun coming up here. Looking at a high later today of 24 degrees, only at 8 right now. It is 8:03. This news update is brought to you by Jackson Hewitt. Everyone knows time is money. Go to Jackson Hewitt for up to $3,500 with a no-interest, no-fee tax refund advance loan. For eligible clients, loans by Republic Bank and Trust Company. Details at jacksonhewitt.com. Well, Governor Kathy Hochul laying out her executive budget today at the State Capitol building in Albany. Among the items that are expected to be included, funding to create additional affordable housing units and money to boost mental health services. Once the governor's budget is revealed, both the Assembly and Senate will present their own proposals. They'll hold several weeks' worth of hearings. The deadline to pass the budget on time in New York State is April 1st. After a huge success in its first year, a program designed to pay tribute to local veterans is expanding. Oneida County residents in Rome, New Hartford, Whitesboro, and Utica will all see the faces of local service members hung on large 30 by 60 banners from Memorial Day through Veterans Day. The Hometown Heroes program provides an opportunity to honor a family member or loved one for their service to the country in any military branch during combat or peacetime. It started along the Memorial Parkway in Utica last year, and organizers say they hoped to be able to honor 50 veterans. They sold 200 of those banners. The cost is $150. Covers display of the hometown hero for 3 years, including their photo, military branch, and years of service, and the conflict they were involved in, if that applies. After, they're presented to the veteran's family. Submissions are being accepted through March 31st. You can find a link to submit your hometown hero at WIBX950.com. Center for Family Life and Recovery is partnering with the City of Rome for a winter bash during the midwinter break that's upcoming. It'll feature a snowman building contest, open skating at Kennedy Arena, free hot chocolate for the kids and family. And it's not just for kids in Rome. Students across Oneida County are welcome to attend. The Winter Bash, scheduled for Thursday, February 23rd. More details on our website. A new restaurant moving into the old Chuck E. Cheese in New Hartford. That location on Commercial Drive has been empty since 2020 when Chuck E. Cheese closed, but something new is coming, a Korean barbecue and hot pot. New restaurant plans have been submitted to the New Hartford Codes Department for review and approval. No official opening date has been set, but the owners say it is coming soon. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast calling for some sunshine today. It'll feel nice, but cold, a high of just 24 degrees. Overnight tonight, mostly cloudy skies, temps falling back into the middle teens. Partly sunny for your Thursday as well, with a high reaching 33 degrees. Friday, chance of snow showers, mostly cloudy and cold. Friday's high is 3 degrees.
Lovely.
Saturday, mostly sunny and cold with a high of 9 degrees. A peek into the extended forecast next week. Looks like we'll be back up into the 40s. We'll see if that lasts. And one more note on the Friday and Saturday weather. We have a wind chill watch that's in effect from February 3rd. That's Friday. Friday, 1 a.m. through 1 p.m. on Saturday. A wind chill watch in effect. We could see wind chill temps getting down to 35 below. Again, that's overnight Friday into Saturday. Right now, a little bit of sunshine, 8 degrees. WIBX News Time, 8:07.
Okay, from the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, Eli Manning is making Manaski really, really angry. He's saying Daniel Jones should stick around. But the fact is, probably, as Manaski says, Eli Manning was probably asked, do you think he should stick around? And his affiliation with the Giants, what's he going to say?
Right. He's not going to go, oh, he's a bum. Look, I could do better at my age.
Right.
I will say this, though. As much as I love Eli and the 2 Super Bowls, as I think of him saying Daniel Jones is great and he's earned his right to come back and lead the team, you know what Manning face is? I can just picture him saying it with Manning face. It's that blank, confused, I don't know what to do stare. I picture him answering that question with his Manning face on.
The Lakers snapped their two-game skid in the NBA with a 129-123 overtime win over your New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. LeBron James recorded his first triple-double of the season after leading the Lakers with 28 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists. I do have to say that NHL is on All-Star break this week, and the Rangers are back on the ice next week. They return on Monday when they'll host Calgary. Devils, of course, will be off as well. They go back on Monday night as well to take on the Vancouver Canucks. That'll be played in Newark. One more on Damar Hamlin. He's now working and partnering with the American Heart Association to spread CPR awareness. I think he's taking the horrific mishap that occurred on the field 3 Mondays ago and doing something positive with it.
Forgive me for being a broken record here. I know he went into cardiac arrest. We still do not know what caused it. We think we have speculation, we have theories, but we don't know what caused it, right?
We do not, and I'm not sure why that is.
I am confused by that.
HIPAA is probably part of that, but why would they want to keep it from everybody? I guess I don't know.
And you could be right, but I just have to question if HIPAA's the reason. We can say he died on the field. We can say he was resuscitated in the ambulance. We can say he's on a breathing machine or he's 50% breathing on his own, but we can't say what caused it. I just don't get it.
Also, the Comets are home tonight, and Davey, did Court take those tickets for tonight?
No, he didn't.
Did not.
He can't go to the game tonight.
All right. I have a pair of tickets to give away to the Comets game tonight. These are front row seats at the Adirondack Bank Center, right on the glass.
These are great seats. I've had a chance to sit in them.
You get some real action here, and I'll take the first person through the lines that says to Davey, I will use them tonight as the Comets take on Syracuse. The Syracuse Crunch tonight at the Adirondack Bank Center. 315-736-0186 is the number. This weekend, the Pioneers, Friday and Saturday, Utica men are playing their final home games of the regular season. This is the number one ranked men's hockey team.
Absolutely.
In the
They'll be taking on King's College this weekend. They do have some regular season games after this weekend, but as you mentioned, they're on the road. They'll be on the road those final 2 weekends, and then the playoffs begin. And I think they'll have, fingers crossed, many more home playoff games on tap, obviously being the number one team. And the Adirondack Bank Center rocks when the Pioneers are in there. So I'm looking forward to those games as well.
I have to say that this could be the year, and let's hope it is for Coach Heenan and the Pioneers. On the women's side, women's ice hockey for Utica University, they have a brand new home, right?
Yeah, the Nexus Center. And they're ranked in the top 15 in the country.
They are ranked as well. They're now number 12 in the latest in the top 15. And the women will be playing as well. And, of course, their new home is the Nexus Center.
Very cool.
Pretty darn cool. All right, I want to tell you about cheese. I love cheese. And different cheeses and different flavors and from different countries. And it's just all available at Artisanal Cheese in the Hemstratz building at 900 Oswego Street in Utica. If you've not gotten over there as of yet, it's really awesome. Everything from the delicious breads and pastries to Hemstratz Half Moons, and, of course, all different gift baskets and gift boxes and cheeses that are not your grocery store cheeses. These are artisanal premium cheese delights from around the world, and they're available in one place here locally at the Hemstratz building, 900 Oswego Street in Utica. They're open 7 days a week or online at artisanalcheese.com. Looking for a gift, looking for just a great taste, looking for something to take to a dinner party or for your own. It's Artisanal Cheese. Go to artisanalcheese.com or Oswego Street in Utica. Got a break. We'll come back. Much to do. Senator Griffo coming in a second. Davey, anything there now? No, we'll break now.
Okay.
All right, we'll break right now. He is on now?
Yeah. Oh, he's on 3. I don't know why it's not up there, but yeah, he's there. I guess he
Okay.
is there.
We wanted to get into this story before I break on what they're doing in Florida, talking about the elimination of gun permits.
Does that mean anybody can carry?
I don't know what it means. On the line is Evan Brown from Fox News. Evan, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning.
So, give me some background on this story.
Well, yeah, there's been a push through a number of states in recent years to adopt what is called constitutional carry, and this is the idea that you would need no permit or license to carry a concealed weapon, and as long as you are legal to own, meaning you're not a convicted criminal or have other restrictions against you, then it would be legal to carry on your person in some way or another. A lot of these constitutional carry states allow even for open carry, but now Florida wants to join those ranks, and so their legislation has been proposed. The legislative session in the state legislature begins in spring, but this would be a bill to make the concealed weapons permit, or actually we call it a concealed weapons or firearms license here in Florida, to make it unnecessary to carry concealed, where currently you need it if you want to carry.
Does this come from future White House hopeful Ron DeSantis, or is this from a lawmaker in Florida?
Well, the governor, who has not announced anything about his future plans, has supported the idea, but it is proposed by lawmakers in the legislature. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. And you said he is behind this, though?
Yes, he's openly supported this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and Evan, the concept is this comes at a time where the restrictions in New York are getting greater when it comes to ownership and possession of a gun. But in New York or in Florida, I'm assuming the concept is the only thing that stops a bad person with a gun is a good person with a gun.
Well, that's certainly an attitude that a lot of people here have, and we have a vastly different attitude towards firearms here than New York does. Again, provided you are not a convicted criminal or have any other kind of legal restriction against you, you can own a firearm here, even a handgun, without a permit. You don't need one to buy. You don't need one to own or possess. You can even transport it without a permit. You just can't carry it on your person. So if you are not permitted or licensed, actually, we say in the state, you have to have it unloaded in a case that you can carry it around with. If you have your license, you can have it in a holster in your belt or under your shoulder, or whatever the case may be, as long as it's hidden. And that's fine. And so that's the way we generally have operated in this state. The permit probably wouldn't truly go away because a lot of people travel, and we have agreements with other states called reciprocity, where we may need our licenses to carry in another state. Mm-hmm. But at least here, someone could carry concealed without going through the process of getting the license, which can take 6 to 8 weeks and cost a couple $100 for your initial license.
I will say, when you say the feeling in Florida as opposed to the feeling in New York, just keep in mind that the population of New York City versus the population of upstate New York, and the difference between upstate New York and downstate is quite substantial. In fact,
yes, I grew up in the Hudson Valley,
so you know
you
know exactly the deal. So if you ask someone up here, most likely you're going to find them in belief that the only thing that's going to stop that bad person with a gun is a good person.
The population center being south of Westchester County.
That is,
to have all the control in Albany, and you guys are at their whims, so we know where we know. So
you're Evan, you're just like a typical New Yorker. You live here till you can't do it anymore, and you go to Florida.
I got the heck out.
Yeah. All right, Evan Brown.
I did it. I left. I did it 20 years ago before it was cool.
All right. Well, listen. You're enjoying better temperatures. Good for you.
70 degrees today. Thank you very much.
Gotta love it. I don't want to tell you what it is here. Evan Brown, Fox News. Thank you so much.
Think of the Take care, guys. Think of the money he saved in taxes over 20 years.
I know. Think about that.
My goodness.
Yeah. What a lot of people will do is they educate their children here, and then once they do that and take advantage of the education, we did have somebody on the other day saying that Florida's education system is superior to New York's. No, it's not. Those taxes go towards a lot of that. So you educate your kids here, and then you take off and reap the benefits somewhere else. Happens a lot.
When we were talking about, and you said this, the contrast between New York and Florida, I just remember several years ago, Obama had said, when the Republicans go low, we go high. And I just thought in this context, it's like when the Democrats go New York, the Republicans go Florida. I mean, really, that's what it is.
Yeah. And I'm not sure it's all Republicans.
No, but I mean, policy-wise.
Yeah,
they're just
no
in
doubt.
opposite directions.
And I know taxes play a big role, but I do think, and Greeley can talk to this, I do think the weather plays.
I think that's part of it.
Does play part of a role.
The taxes don't help. That's not convincing me to stay through the winter.
Yeah. Got a break. Hold tight. 8:18 at WIBX.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest-rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's New York attorneys. 518-554-0000. Online at CordellCordell.com. 100 Great Oaks Boulevard, Suite 110, Albany, New York, 12203.
The stress from excessive credit card debt can ruin your life. Collection calls, sleepless nights. If you're feeling the financial impact with unprecedented economic challenges, DebtBlue is here for you. DebtBlue uses secret programs that most credit card companies won't tell you about. They'll help you consolidate or settle your debts for a fraction of what you owe. It works for credit card debt, medical bills, and department store accounts. With DebtBlue's Success Guarantee, you pay nothing unless your debt is reduced or completely resolved. There's no risk. The more you owe, the more DebtBlue can save you. See how easy it is to get started with free information. Let DebtBlue show you how 10 minutes could save you thousands. Call now. 800-943-5003. That's 800-943-5003.
I'm just living sky high right now. I'm very thankful for it, and the team at DebtBlue are phenomenal. They're able to work with you. They're great.
Call for your free debt resolution information now. 800-943-5003. 800-943-5003.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley will soon be home to New York State's newest state-of-the-art medical center, the Wynn Hospital. But healthcare transformation is already underway. At MVHS, we're bringing talented, highly skilled healthcare professionals from around the country to our region. In the past year, MVHS has hired more than 60 new doctors and mid-level providers, and recruiting continues throughout the Northeast for nurses, physical therapists, radiology techs, lab positions, and more. Plus, the MVHS Medical Education Education Division is already bringing more physicians in training and medical students to our area through new residency programs and medical school partnerships. Today, we have 45 residents and 35 medical students doing their training at MVHS. By 2027, there will be more than 200 physician learners at the Wynn Hospital and other MVHS campuses. Our focus is on caring for our community with the best and brightest teams of caregivers, now and in the future. Mohawk Valley Health System. This is for you.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
So, according to Davey, we're getting some social media lighting up that Tom Brady has announced that he is.
It says Tom Brady announces on social media that he's retiring. 7-time Super Bowl winner holds every major NFL passing record. That's all that it says.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. You know, this came last year about this time, didn't it?
So that means he moves into being the highest paid broadcaster in the industry. He moves to Fox.
Incredible. I saw Giselle was out doing some type of a bikini shoot, and I thought to myself, boy, don't you wish you gave up football now?
Yeah, she's coming out with a full-fledged interview in Vanity Fair.
I don't think that that was much. Anyway.
What do you mean?
I don't think it was much of a relationship anyway.
Oh, yeah. Well,
although they do have a kid, right?
I think they have multiple kids.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that. So I just thought it was funny. They asked Brady the other day, did you make a decision yet? And he goes, no, I want to take my time because, once I make the decision, it's final. And I thought to myself, 11 months ago you made the decision, and it obviously wasn't final.
Wasn't it leaked?
No, I think he retired. He did retire.
I forgot how that came out last time.
And
I thought it was leaked last year, but it was leaked from him. But then he came out later and said it's not true, or I forgot how that went down. Look that up.
I believe he did retire and then officially unretire.
Yeah,
and that seemed to coincide with Bruce Arians' departure from Tampa Bay. So I think there might have been a little rift between the coach and the quarterback. And a couple comments on the hospital here. Either hospital campus or even the Panorama building would be awesome as a movie production facility like the one in Syracuse that's used at what used to be a high school. That comes from Jay in Utica.
Okay. On the line right now, Senator Joe Griffo. Good morning, Joseph. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
I know you're a big Brady fan. Are you?
So I think Brady's probably playing the Jackson 5s. I want you back for Giselle right now.
Yeah.
Seriously.
He's outside her house with a boombox.
He's becoming like a pro boxer now, right? Where you're in, you're out, then you come back in.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
I'll tell you what. When he went to Tampa Bay, and even last year, there was the amazing, the come from behind. They came back, but ultimately lost in that game, and you thought, wow, he's still got something left in the tank. You watch the last 10 games he played in this year, and you think, yeah, that car is ready for retirement. Time to get a new one.
Yeah.
I think he's done.
All right, Joe, good morning.
And it may be that that's the issue, Jeff. You're right. You come to a reality at some point in time, and he's had a phenomenal career, whether you like him or don't like him. You do have to acknowledge his athletic prowess, and he's superstar quarterback. So maybe that's what he looked at and said, you don't want to go out the other way.
Let's talk about the your proposal. Is this your proposal to change the signs on the thruway, but not just the thruway, right? Wouldn't that include maybe Route 81 and other highways?
Yeah, it's been circulating in the past. There's over 41 states that do something like this right now. The Federal Highway Administration is actually suggesting to states that they consider undertaking initiatives where they would have exits reflect actual mileage. And the simple explanation of this is what would happen is, and I will use Utica exit because that's freshest in everyone's mind, I think, as you look at our area. Exit 31 would become exit 232 because that's mile 232 on a thruway. And when you look at some of the statistical analysis that's provided by like I said, the FHA and some other groups. They just believe that this is beneficial for identification purposes when there's a problem. There's a number of factors that they cite that would make it a lot easier and better if they were using mileage indicators particularly as exits rather than just coming up with whatever we did in the past. And that would be a transition period. Change is hard for everyone. I know that. So some people are going to hate it.
If I could, Joe, how would that be? And I'm not with the, I don't have the knowledge that the Federal Highway Authority, is it called, or
Administration?
Federal Highway Administration.
Right, FHA. I don't have what they have, but how is it any better? I don't understand, because if you break down, let's say you break down or there's an accident, and the chances of doing that right at the exit are probably not all that good. Normally you break down between exits, and there are already mile markers there that we use, so you'll report to the police it's at mile marker such and such. But but if you say to them, I'm at exit 34, I'm broken down right on the off-ramp of 34, any of the 911 or authorities would automatically know exactly where you are.
Yeah, navigation system still will be in effect too. You'd have to be using, the GPSs and things of that nature. So I think you're accurate in that. I mean, at this point in time, people will say, "This is where I am. I'm near the Canastota exit, or I'm at the Westmoreland exit." Sometimes people can't remember the numbers if they get off and they're having a problem. But this is just recommendations from people in the transportation industry of saying that these would be better ways to identify exits and off-ramps as opposed to just the random selection of numbers. And as you know, we've had 34A, 34, things of that nature when they add exits. So it's just something that I sit on a transportation committee. We have talked to people and you study various issues. Look, I think I approach things this way. You should always be ready and willing to evaluate whatever it may be, your life, your career, projects and operations. You don't stand still, right? I think even you guys in radio, you take a look at how can you improve the program. I know that's difficult for you, Bill, because you've got Jeff and Dave, and they're so good. But I know you look continually to try to improve yourself, right?
That is true. I sometimes I even comb my hair, Joe. It's unbelievable.
What's left, whatever you have
what's left of it. That is true.
Right?
That is true. Yes.
But the point, no, seriously though, we all try to improve, and you guys have a quality show, but you always want to make it better. And I think that's what we're trying to do here. Just take a look at things that are being done, that are being recommended, and then assess and determine whether this would be in our best interest too. Now, people are going to have opinions on it, and I respect that, but we also have to evaluate the facts. And we had a very good meeting with the Thruway Authority, and let me talk about priorities too, if that's okay. A lot of people, and I think you've indicated this too, is this really a priority? No, it's not a priority. A priority in New York is trying to get a handle on fighting crime, making New York safer, making New York more affordable, creating economic opportunity. But if we're not capable of doing a lot of things at the same time, then maybe this isn't where we should be, because you need to be able to have that balance and to be able to do a lot of things. That's the nature of the beast, and you see that too.
I would ask this question, though. Not crime, not all the I would put that aside. And yes, I think your line to me the other night was, I can walk and chew gum at the same time. I believe.
Yeah, the question was, could you, though? I asked whether.
Well, not at the time, Joe. Not at the time. Okay. But by the next day,
he was
yes,
a little under the weather, I think, Jeff, at the time when I saw him.
That's not true, but okay. By the way, I was driving. So, nonetheless, Joe,
What exit? What exit were you near? What milepost? Do you remember?
I was at the Varick Street milepost.
I rest my case there, I think.
Yes. Well, listen, as you have had, and this was for Friday night, we're talking about the food at the Irish. What's the name of the? I don't even know.
5 Points.
Irish Cultural Center.
I always say we're going to the Irish Cultural Center, but what a great place for dinner.
5 Points.
5 Points. If you've not had the opportunity you should check it out. Anyway, my question though, Joe, would be: Are we how much would it cost to change all the signs on 81 and all the signs on the thruway? That would be a lot of money, and I'm not sure. Which, by the way, would benefit us because many of the signs are actually made here locally. But how much would that cost the state?
Yeah, those are the type of things you do in a feasibility study, determine to ascertain whether this is something that could and should be done, right? Weighing some of the data that's provided by the Federal Highway Administration, by the Department of Transportation. I had a conversation with the Thruway Authority. I was actually impressed. The chairwoman, Mahoney, called, and they have an interest in looking at this. And again, my point is just that we have to be willing and ready to take a look at things and to then assess and determine whether this is something that we should pursue. And costs become a factor. So does transition. There are people who are older that are going to be very resistant, saying, I like it the way it is. I don't understand why you'd have to change this. So all those factors have to be taken into consideration. And even when we talk about Thruway, like when I met with the Thruway, this wasn't the main topic, to talk about changing exit signs to reflect mileage as being recommended by the Federal Highway Administration, and 41 other states do already. But we talked about the toll hike that they're proposing and how I felt that it was untimely and something that's not sustainable at this point in time to the motorists. We talked about maintenance on the road. I traveled this pretty regularly and gave them spots that really need their attention. And I think they have an outstanding crews, and they do a great job. But I do believe we have to pay attention to the operation and maintenance, to this recommendation of a toll hike right now, and to get people engaged and to hear their voices. Also, we talked about the erroneous charges that are being made because of the new technology. When they put all this new technology on and got rid of the toll booths, I knew and we warned about the potential of problems, but I think there's been too much of a pervasive problem, and too many people have to go in and defend why they didn't take an exit or something of that nature because they're misreading plates. We talked about how and actually, today Ryan's on?
Yes.
I think there was an NBC news story about how people are concealing their plates right now. The effort that they're undertaking to hide their plates so they can evade tolls, which then comes back on all of us, the law-abiding citizens who are paying extra because these people are finding ways to evade tolls by changing their license plates. One of them looked like something out of a James Bond movie where you could actually rotate the plate. And it was amazing. And we had that conversation, too, about how do we go after those individuals and hold them accountable.
Well,
and then we talked about local projects in Herkimer and Madison County, too, that need the Thruway Authority's attention. So we talk about a lot of issues, right? And this is just one particular
I understand
point.
that. I understand that. The fact is, though, that this is the story that this is the one issue that grabbed everybody's attention and became a
low-hanging
story.
fruit, Bill. Low-hanging fruit. Just like yesterday, one of my colleagues recommended raising the speed limit on the Thruway to 70. I support that. It's Senator Tom O'Mara from down in the Southern Tier.
I believe it's already 72, isn't it?
Well, for you it is, but I don't know if the state police would agree with you.
Well, you're giving that there's that. If it's 65, if you're doing 75, 80, you're going to get stopped. But if you can keep it down below 72, you'll probably be okay. That's maybe that's just folklore. I don't know. But
why don't you go test it and let us know how that is?
You've ridden with me, Joe.
I would call that Air Keeler. I
think we've done that test. Listen, here's what I would say. You mentioned 42 other states or 41 other states are already doing this.
Right.
And I understand. Welcome to America, where we don't use the metric system. But I would say it would be beneficial, and I wonder what your thoughts are on this. Some of the states, each state does it differently. Some have made the complete change where they've gone to the mileage concept. Others keep their exits and add the mileage. So let's say, what did you say Utica would be?
232.
232. It would be great to see, exit, what is Utica, 31?
Yeah.
Exit 31, and then 232 MI. So now you know that it's 232 miles. There's your marker, I think that would help people who aren't paying attention to the mile markers. You'd have both to be able to draw from. What are your thoughts on a concept like that?
I think that everything could be and should be examined and evaluated. And I do agree with you, just because other states do it doesn't mean you have to do it.
Right.
But on the other hand, New York's had a reputation to lag behind everything. A perfect illustration of that is the Real ID, which is a federal law that requires you to have a specific type of license. And 20 years later, New York has still been resisting and now have been told that you need to comply. And the problem with that is that you could disadvantage our residents. I mean, you could have a New Yorker who's trying to get on a plane or enter a federal building that's not going to be able to do that because our governors and our Department of Motor Vehicles have been so slow in complying with federal law. So my point is, you look around what's happening, you look at best practices, you look at what is taking place and if it makes sense. And in this particular instance, it's a recommendation to the Thruway Authority's credit. They are willing to consider it. And I don't know what the cost would be in undertaking a feasibility study, but I think that would be the first case here as opposed to any type of direct implementation. And I think a lot of these subjects that we talk about, the issues that I like, is you engage public opinion. And I appreciate what you do. To be a devil's advocate and to really generate that type of interest, whether it's standard time versus daylight savings time or mileage on the thruway, the speed limit on the thruway. I think these are opportunities for citizens the issues are pretty simple and general, so you can then formulate an opinion very easily and quickly.
Yeah.
I'm just the messenger here. A couple of comments. One is that this would have a
I like the way you did that, Jeff. That's pretty good. Should have just attributed it to Bill.
That this would have a negative impact on Turning Stone. Imagine the new commercials. Enjoy the nightlife at Turning Stone's exit 247.3 instead of exit 33.
Well, I wouldn't put the .3, but what's wrong with exit 247? I mean.
Well, they'd say they got to spend money to change the sign, although
correct,
one would say they may have it.
And
or maybe you just keep it at exit 33, and it's just something unique, nostalgic.
Yeah. Senator, for the win here, we have Stephen Utica suggesting what you ought to do with the proposal is slightly adjust it. Put forth an idea for the complete thruway. You'd have a car lane, a truck lane, and a bike lane. That's what you can do, and you get more support for that. Maybe.
We'd have to get that from Utica City Hall, maybe, right?
I will say, to support what you have, what you've talked about here, Joe. Jeff saying this morning that he has a friend that got overcharged by the state and was sent a throughway bill, $8 from. They went from exit 31 to 32, and they were charged $8.73.
Ouch!
That can't be right.
No, that's totally not right, and it's totally unacceptable. And we have been engaging with the authority on behalf of our constituents. We have a lot of residents that have had similar experiences. In fact, we've compiled a whole report that we presented to the Thruway to give them illustrations of where this was happening, how it was happening, and why it's got to stop happening.
Yeah. Okay, anything further?
Can I, illegal immigrants? Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
Senator, I know you, we talked to you a couple of weeks back. U.S. Senator Gillibrand was out there suggesting maybe relocating some migrants who were headed to New York City, just send them upstate. I believe that was the there she goes again press release. Let me ask you this. Earlier this week, there was some social media posting going on suggesting that there was a busload of migrants from New York City that Mayor Adams had sent to Utica, New Hartford, and they were being dropped off at the Quality Inn over there on Shenango Road. As it turns out, they were actually migrant workers who were up here, and they were actually boarding the bus to go back to Mexico. If you missed that story, it's on our website now. Just search migrants. My question is, if Mayor Adams or Gillibrand or Biden administration officials wanted to send migrants who have just crossed into the U.S., if they wanted to send them upstate, is there a mechanism to notify local leaders? And I guess the follow-up to that is, should there be?
There is not a mechanism that I'm aware of, and yes, there definitely should be. But more importantly, let's let them do their jobs and get a handle on the immigration problem right now, then we would not be facing these challenges. First of all, we took on Gillibrand because that was a harebrained idea. Because of all the problems that it was causing to the city of New York, her decision was to send us all upstate. Shows how much she cares about the communities upstate, where she just wants to take New York City's problem and then just dump it on the upstate communities. And Eric Adams, similarly now, it's Eric Adams who chose to be a sanctuary city. So he has to deal with that. He embraced that concept, and now these migrants are going there. So now that he can't take it and withstand it, both financially and for a lot of other reasons, he's decided that it's good policy to send them upstate. That's ridiculous. Upstate cities have not asked, nor do they need this type of burden that will be placed upon upstate communities. Now, we are willingly and readily have accepted people. The refugee program has been exceptional, and it's done within the laws that exist, and we have embraced that. We have welcomed people from various cultures and nations, and I think we've shown how it can be done successfully. A big credit to the center, to Shelley and her crew, and to everybody else who has worked collectively here in local government and in the community. Secondly, we've actually accepted legal migrants. There are legal migrant programs to work in the ag business particularly, and that's something that's important and helpful to the agriculture, to agribusiness. And we have embraced that, and we have accepted that and utilized that. So that is the way things should be done. What you're seeing now is these are undocumented people that are just crossing the borders because there's no policy in effect at the federal government, and the president and the Congress have not addressed the immigration issue the way it needs to be addressed and taken on, so that we can avoid these type of issues that you're seeing not only in the border cities but across the country right now. And I think that's the issue. So do your job at the federal level. The president and the Congress need to prioritize immigration. It's a problem. It's a challenge. And let's figure out a solution to that. That's why they're elected, and that's hopefully what will be done. In the interim, Jeff, no, I don't want to see the city of New York trying to push its problem on other communities across the state of New York. I think that's wrong, and it's not that we're resistant or unwilling to be a part and from a humanitarian perspective, because we have demonstrated in so many ways how we are ready, willing, and accepting in both the refugee program and in the legal migrants that come to our area.
Joe, you're fiery today. You're very fiery. I like it.
Getting ready for the budget, Bill.
Okay, that's good. So be fiery during that budget. And I have to say this, that we get, I don't know if it was Lanson Lee that made a comment a few weeks back, and he's like, you just bring on Pacenti and you bring on Griffo, and you just carry their water. You let them say whatever they want to say. You're always in agreement with them, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and I'm not sure if that was you, Lance. It might not have been. But anyway, Joe,
no, it was Lance, and he's got one here this morning as well.
Okay. What does he say?
Here we go. Let me pull it up here. It's critical of the senator. He calls it low-hanging fruit. He said, with all the crime, I'm sorry, I clicked off of it. With all the crime that's going on, why is basically this an issue of importance? With all the crime and other things going on.
Go
ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jeff. Like I said, Lance is a perfect illustration of that. If he's listening, and apparently he's hearing but not listening, we talked about how there are higher priorities and that we should be focused on those priorities like fighting crime, keeping New York safer. And if you've followed any of the things that we have proposed, advocated, we don't just criticize. We propose constructive alternatives and solutions to deal with a problem like bail. But beyond that, we recognize and want to emphasize that we need to make New York safer. We need to make New York more affordable. We need to continue to focus on economic opportunity in this state. We need to stop the exodus. I recognize that. We're engaged and involved in that. To say something like that is
use the gum line, Joe. That was a good line. I'd use that.
Which one? The gum line?
I can chew gum and walk at the same time.
Right, but it's more than that in the sense that trying to get across, like sometimes I think people just want to say things for the fact of saying something because it's not an accurate representation or reflection of how and what we are doing or presenting.
I just want to say that this is a great example. I don't agree with Joe on the sign thing on the thruway, although maybe there's a combination that I'd be happy with. Not that matters, but I'm a constituent as well. And I don't.
You are a constituent now, you're right.
And I don't agree with you on
You may not be my favorite Keeler, but
it's true. I know it. I also don't necessarily agree on the daylight saving time. But we disagree, and I think that's a good thing that we disagree, and we can actually go off and not hate each other afterwards.
Absolutely.
Well, you might hate me, but I don't hate you. I'm just saying that.
I don't hate anybody. I believe that you're right, Bill, that you should be able to disagree, you should be able to respect one another's opinions, and then even here in Albany, and you've seen this, and you talk to anybody, I have worked across the aisle throughout my career. You know, there's a time to campaign and there's a time to govern. And when we're governing, we need to try, even when we disagree, we need to find a way to be respectful in that disagreement, as opposed to trying to create animus and to villainize people.
A great segue there, Senator. Campaigning versus governing. You put forth the proposal, wrote a letter to the governor a couple of weeks ago regarding a $300 million investment in law enforcement over the course of 3 years. Her budget plan comes out today. Are you hopeful you'll see mention of that?
No. I really wish that we could have did a little more in the advocacy and the lobbying with the right people in the governor's office, because I do believe when she talked about, she herself highlighted in her State of the State the need to focus on, and I think the campaign taught her that, on some of the crime issues, and particularly bail. So I think there was an acknowledgement that we need to continue to do something different and more.
Yeah.
And now the question is, like I said, that's a proposal. Will she push for that? I think what I have proposed is, again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. This has been a successful federal program that was initiated under former President Bill Clinton, and it was called the COPS program. It still exists in some format. And I just said, let's retrofit that and make it a state initiative for a 3-year period, because we know when talking to many communities across the state that they're dealing with retention and recruitment issues in law enforcement. And beyond that, we're dealing with, fighting the issues of crime.
Yeah.
So I think this would have been a way where we gave them money for personnel as well as equipment. I convened a meeting probably now a month ago, where we brought in the acting superintendent of state police. We had the chiefs from the the major cities, sheriff. So I think, we're trying to work collectively here to make sure that we keep our communities as safe as possible. And I thought that was a good initiative. So I'll continue to see if we can get their attention. It's $100 million in over a $200 billion budget. Is not, going to cause a major hardship, and yet it's going to actually make a priority what we all agree should be a priority: public safety.
I'm just trying to get my favorite Dave Mason song in there, Joe.
I love that. We just disagree.
It's our
There ain't no good guy. There ain't no bad guy.
It's our theme song, Joe. It's our theme song.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, Joseph. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Give my best to Ryan Nobles.
I will. Senator Joe Griffo. Thank you. It's our theme song right here.
How about you?
How about you, Joe?
Have you got a place to stay? Why should I care when I'm just trying to get along?
I couldn't get to the part where the hook says, we just disagree. I couldn't get there.
Now it's the end of
Whatever. Listen, quickly, I want to tell you about Ricky Z. If you're looking to buy a vehicle this year, Rick is at Steve Pawnee Mazda, and he does an incredible job. I dealt with it firsthand. It's a wonderful car buying experience. He goes out of his way to assist you, and not just to put you. You're not going to get put into a deal that isn't good for you. Oftentimes, you send your kid. They're out buying a car. All of a sudden, they come back, and you're like, you're not going to be able to afford that. What are you thinking? And well, they said I could. That will never happen at Steve Pawnee Mazda. You are taken care of. It's a different car buying experience. Ricky Z, the brand new and pre-owned Mazdas. Check them out at Steve Pawnee Mazda, family owned and operated on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Let's see if it comes in here. Oh, there it is! Nice! Yes! All right.
And speaking of music, before I forget, Tom in Rome, he sent in a message that said outstanding bill. And he wasn't talking about the legislation put forward by Senator Griffo. He was talking about it's outstanding on your parody this morning. It was hilarious.
I was outstanding on the sidewalk by Genesee Street and just became inspired. Ryan Nobles from NBC. Good morning, Ryan.
Hey, good morning. When you and Joe Griffo fight, it feels like my parents are fighting. It's uncomfortable for me.
That's a terrible thing to say. I'm not that old, man.
my mentors, I guess, a better way to put it.
All right. Well, I don't think we were fighting that badly, but Joe was peppy this morning. He was, and I'm not just going to say I agree with something if I don't agree with it. That's
Can I just tell you that that he has long believed on that mile marker thing with the exits. I can speak to that back to the time that I worked with him. That was something that was an initiative that he initially laid the groundwork for the 15 or 16 years ago that I worked for him. So this
a long
is
time
not
coming.
a new project for him. So.
Well, let's see where it goes, Ryan. Let's see where it goes. Okay, can we start with, if you don't mind, I just want to play a quick statement for you, and I want your take. I realize this is not news. Oops, sorry, I got to stop that first. I realize this is not news, but it is news in the world. For God's sakes, there's a movie parody of him out there right now. I don't think I want to see that. But here he is, Tom Brady, saying this.
Good morning, guys. I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring for good. I know the process was a pretty big deal last time, so when I woke up this morning, I figured I'd just press record and let you guys know first. So I won't be long-winded. I think you only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year. So I really thank you guys so much, to every single one of you, for supporting me, my family, my friends, my teammates, my competitors. I could go on forever. There's too many. Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing. Love you all.
Except I like my wife back.
I was just going to say, thank you for keeping my wife busy while I washed up in Tampa Bay this year.
That bikini shoot she's doing right now is killing me. What do you think, Brian?
Let the door hit him, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not that sad to see him go. I actually, there is a degree of kind of unhealthy satisfaction with the way his career floundered at the end. Could have gone out,
I love your
like
honesty.
Peyton Manning did after winning that Super Bowl in Tampa, proved everybody wrong. But his ego got the best of him. And, I think that Father Time's undefeated, and it's undefeated with even the greatest of all time, Tom Brady. So not sad to see him go.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And, it's allowed the referees to make crappy calls in defense of another quarterback to help maybe that quarterback get over the finish line or the
It seems
the
they've
goal
already
line.
picked Patrick Mahomes as the Tom Brady heir apparent.
They already have. They not only the referees literally picked him up and carried him into the end zone. I can't even stand it.
Yeah, I mean, there was some rumor that Brady might end up in San Francisco, maybe he ends up in Miami, maybe even reunites with Belichick. I think that, he's put himself in a position now where if for some reason he were to come back, he would look really, really silly. So
I agree. Yeah.
It seems like this is finally it. And the big question I have is how quickly does Fox move him into the broadcast booth? Does he boot Greg Olson out for the Super Bowl in 2 weeks?
Right. Wow. Think about that.
They've already said that he's going to be the number one booth. So and they have the Super Bowl. So that'll be intriguing. I think at the very least.
Yeah. Very good point.
Good catch.
I have about 2 minutes, Ryan. Joe took up all your time. I have 2 minutes. What are your thoughts here on? Are more documents coming out? I mean, what are the big issues you're working on right now? I guess.
Well, the big story today is that Kevin McCarthy's going to the White House to meet with President Biden, and this is the debt ceiling hangs over the heads of both men. Biden saying that he's not going to negotiate on the debt ceiling. McCarthy saying that in order for the Congress to pass a debt ceiling, there's got to be some sort of spending concessions. So we'll see if anything productive comes out of that. It'll be an interesting backdrop because at the same time Biden and McCarthy are meeting, these two big Republican committees, the Oversight Committee and the Judiciary Committee, are going to launch their kind of the first salvo in their investigations into the Biden administration, one on COVID, one on the border, which are basically going to serve as just a thorn in Biden's side for the next 2 years. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually have, Biden tends to be somebody that's willing to work with people. He wants to see past their disagreements, and McCarthy really is too, despite his bombast. So, will there be some sort of progress out of that meeting today? I think is the big thing I'm watching today.
And I'm just curious your thoughts on this. Likes to work with both sides, but is about to have a negotiation. He says, "Here's the terms. I'm not moving. Let's come talk about it."
Well, that's public. I mean, you hope that
but that's how they work.
Yeah.
They both have to say these things to kind of satisfy their bases and basically to plant flags on either side of the playing field here in terms of where they're going to begin these negotiations.
Yeah.
Listen, neither of these two guys want to see the America default on its credit rating. So they're going to find a way to get there. They're just going to have to find a place where both can save face. And I think that's actually not that hard to find. I think there's concessions both sides can make and maybe lay the groundwork for the budget negotiations going on.
Yeah.
But this is the first step in that process, and they got to be able to have a conversation before they even get there.
Ryan Nobles, NBC. Thank you, sir. We'll talk again next week. Thank you.
All right, Mike.
All right. Daylight Donuts, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program. And Chuck Sedella does an incredible job of making sure his people are just the most polite, wonderful people that deal with you, whether you're inside the store or you're in the drive-thru. That drive-thru works like clockwork, in and out and on your way. And the best coffee, Seattle's best, fresh bagels and donuts every day. And, of course, those lattes, 14 different flavors. The fastest drive-thru, it's Daylight Donuts in the village of New Hartford.
We invest in Herkimer and Oneida counties. We work with the community to make things better for old and young alike. Today, tomorrow, and in the years to come. Every day, we put the community's long-term savings to work. Who are we? We are the Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida counties. FoundationHOC.org. We're your community foundation. Working to build a vibrant region with opportunity for all.
You have cancer. 3 words you wish you could unhear. But just because a cancer diagnosis may be a shock to your system doesn't mean cancer surgery has to be. Now, there's Edge Radio Surgery. It breaks down tumors in less than an hour per treatment. No knife, no hospital stay. Faster treatments, lower risk. Edge Radio Surgery, now at AMP of New York. Learn more at ampofny.com/edge. You may experience side effects which may be severe. Ask your doctor if Edge Radio Surgery, Associated Medical Professionals of New York is right for you.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica, Rome, W295DI Utica, Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
Tom Brady has finally finished playing football. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The star NFL quarterback just announced
I'm retiring for good.
Posting on social media.
You only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year, so really thank you guys so much, to every single one of you, for supporting me.
Brady retired a year ago, only to unretire weeks later. Then, before playing his final season in Tampa Bay, Brady and his wife Gisele Bundchen divorced. The 45-year-old played for 23 seasons, winning a record 7 Super Bowls, 6 with the Patriots, 1 with the Buccaneers. Tyree Nichols' funeral is in about 2 hours in Memphis.
My